Kia ora. Kia ora. Sorry, I wanted to come on at 6, but I had to find my TV remote to put some sounds on. So I'll find us a page. This one. 606, yeah. I wanted it to be 6. Kia ora, kia ora. Kia ora, my friends. Thank you for coming in. So I'm only going to be on for a couple of hours because I literally climbed a mountain today and I am tired. I didn't actually factor this in when I said, oh yeah, I'll go live on Tuesday. But luckily, the wairua, the energy behind me is still helping and supporting, so I actually feel really good despite the fact that I felt buggered when I got home. But that's also the travelling back because it was a fair bit out of the way. So today I got to climb, it was a track, we mainly drove up most of it, but I got to climb around Maunga Hararu, so some people may whakapapa back there. It's here in the Hawke's Bay. It's not my maunga because I'm from up north, but it was really awesome to get to know the history of it, look at past sites, look at the taiho, look at the rongoa, safe rongoa practices. Thank you Vicky. Things like that, safe Māori medicine practices, because I do I think this is one of the last classes, and the next week we have an evaluation. So this was an 8-week course about hauora, about your health, about your kai, the way that you look at kai, which is food, you know, and recognizing that that's energy too. So not only what you consume as in eating, but what you consume here and what you consume around your body, the environments you're in. So it's been, I really needed today because I needed to be uplifted after really heavy inner child healing over the last couple of days. So it was nice to get out into the ngahere, touch some trees, and it was cool because we got out into the ngahere and he showed us his nanny tree. I put up a video of us in the ngahere, and yeah, there's a part of the video that goes up, and this is this nanny tree, and he says, you know, because we were lucky to have Perere King show us around because that's his maunga, so he was able to give us the history, the whakapapa there, and it was so cool. And he was talking, you know, sometimes he cuddles up to the tree and he has a tuggy sometimes when he needs to talk about things, and I was like, oh, I need to do this. The first thing's like, I'm hugging this tree, I'm touching this tree, I'm getting up close and personal. And he says, well, that's the Māori way, is that we personify things, we create them as a personality, and then we connect with them as if they were, you know, human-like. And it was a beautiful thing because it was like the wind blew and the leaves kind of shook a little bit, and it was like it rained in the spot we were standing, but it was like, you know, the sun was shining and they just looked like crystal drops kissing our foreheads, and it was beautiful. I just felt really blessed, and I was like, I really needed to stand here at this time to heal all my mamai and, you know, like all my sadness, and to fill my cup. Nothing like going out and spending some good time with positive, informative, and, you know, caring people that are there to also offer you and help and support you along the way. So that was a beautiful experience. Oh, somebody's filtered comments. Please be nice in the comments, people. Thank you. So even though I do have paid readings available if you want to jump priority, I only have one at this time, which is you, the lovely Pearl, gets to go first. But as you guys know, I do a bit of a meditation beforehand, because that just allows us to get in sync. It allows you to move out of that, and I explained in one of my videos, I think it was last week or earlier, before, no, it was last week, and that when we do that synergy time, when we synchronize our energies, it actually moves you into a resting state. And when you're in a resting state, your energy is a lot more free, and also you're open to receive messages. So I could give you something, I could say, hey, da 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 da, and your mind will instantly go to the message that's connected to that. That's how it's supposed to work. And also I'll put in good intentions so you feel uplifted and good afterwards. We're not going to mess around too much. If you do have some questions, please wait till after I've done the reading, because I'll just do this first paid reading, and then we'll get into some questions and some cards for the wonderful followers out there that come in. And if you can, please like this, tap on the screen and or share if you feel drawn to. But I just wanted to say that I wanted to come back and start doing lives again, because there's a lot of, if I'm going through all this clearing, it tells me that a lot of people are going to be going through that too. And it's good for me to sort of get over it and be in a state of being able to hold space to help or assist those that are going to go through it. And that one was a rough one. And I do want to talk a little bit about that, because I feel like there's a lesson in there for many of us. But I had a dream, and in that dream I could see my grandfather. He never spoke. All I saw was his hands and his eyes. And his eyes were emoting to me, you know, like he was sharing information by simply looking at me. Like it was like this, but not crazy looking, you know. It was like right up there, and it was like we were engaged in looking at each other's eyes. And he was replacing my memories, and this is what I was talking about. He was taking out all those ugly memories that I was reliving, and he was moving himself into these spots because he knew that I was ready to move forward in my life, but I kept getting pulled back into the past. So he was releasing me from the past, and this is why it was so deep for me, and why I was crying, because it was his message that said love never dies. That's what he was sharing with me. And the last time he showed up was when I went back and did my ancestral healing in Waima, in the Hokianga. So for him to show up again, and he hasn't been showing up, it's usually my nan. You know, something big is about to happen in my life. So he usually comes to help me clear, because he's the only one I'll listen to, that I'll actually listen to and do what he says. So, you know, it's been full on. So it was nice to get out today, and then, you know, go out and then come across randomly this nanny tree, and she was a beauty. And we all just sat there and we all hugged her, and it was cool because the Kazi was like, you know, you're just being natural, you're being yourself, and that's okay in these areas. And we have to stop, we have to normalize things like that a lot of us are becoming more Wairoa led, soul led, spirit led, and so we're drawn to connect to things very directly, and our approach is to use our senses. So not only our Wairoa senses, but our physical senses of touch and smell and listening. You know, we actually sat for moments to listen to the different birds, because how many of us have never heard the native birds, our actual native birds of New Zealand? Heaps of us. And so he was just like trying to identify the different birds and things like that, just really recognizing that he was trying to share with us an experience that he feels, restoring that maunga, because there was a lot of damage through the flooding here in Hawke's Bay, but also allowing the forest to be restored, because there are some really unsafe rongoa practices that people are doing. They're going out into the ngahere, and they're taking, and they're not leaving it in a sustainable state. So teaching us how to be more kinder and more resourceful within the forest and the ngahere, and learning safe practices, which I thought that was a beautiful way to sort of learn what to do, what not to do, and how to care after taking, you know, how to make sure that that plant or this part of the forest is regenerating and restoring, and not just taking until there's nothing. And so learning a lot of respect as well, going in and yeah, just having a blessed. That I was not expecting. I was just thinking, okay, what are we up to today? And they said, we're going on a hike. And I'm thinking like we're literally hiking. But we were actually going on a trek, being guided, being taught, being shown. Well, we got to taste some of the plants, like actually taking the plants and eating them and tasting them. And I had a horopito leaf, and I literally burnt my tongue because I'm a wussy. But it was, like it was just like learning to sample certain ones, not all of them. And it was definitely a different experience. So I felt very blessed that whole day, because it's like, oh well, I actually really needed to be here. I needed to hear the things that were being shared. And like even recognizing that there's volunteer spaces there, and helping and restoring the forest. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? Which is something that might actually become something I'd love to pursue moving forward from this moment. Don't mind me having some water. But yeah, so what I'll do is, if anyone does have any questions before I move forward, let me know. I'll just wait a couple of minutes to see if anyone wants to kōrero. Because usually I'll just go straight into it, and you're not going to be able to get a word in once I start. Anyway, it was a bloody beautiful experience, and I'm glad that randomly showed up the way that it did, thinking it was going to be something else, but it ended up being a marvellous experience, and I felt really good coming home. You know how like when you enter into the forest, and it's the cool thing about the forest is that the canopy comes across. So when you're from the city, right, and there's just noise all the time. I live down a really busy road, so there's always trucks and cars, and yes, definitely. The cars were rushing past. When you go into the ngahere, it becomes quiet. There's peace there. And he was talking about, this is kai for your hinenara, for your brain, for your mind, and the peace that you can feel there, and sense of belonging. A lot of us, being disconnected from nature, it's nice to get out and like just acres and acres of forest, and really feel what it's like to be in there. And you can feel the different energy as well. So certain areas were like, you could feel it, they were light and bright, and it felt good. And then you sort of went down into the gully areas, and you could feel the energy kind of get a little bit more denser and darker. You can feel the different wairua move through the forest. And it's almost like you can sense where there may have been like energies, because the Kazi's talking about trees, right? And that's, well, I speak tree. And he was pointing out different trees, and for me, I'm going in my head, because I wasn't there to be the teacher, I was there to be the student. I was listening, but in my head I was like, oh, that tree's a vortex, because it was the way that it was placed and twisted, and there was gaps and openings, and that means there's an energy vortex there, so it was like, oh, stay away from that one at certain times when the energy's high. But he often talks about seeing this particular tree. I don't think I took a picture of it because I was too busy listening. And he was talking about, he would often see this bird sitting in it, and like it's a big tree with a gap in the middle, but the roots kind of come out. It was interesting. It was a weird shaped tree, and in the middle it's got this sort of like weird growth. And he talks about this bird sitting in there. He said, that's a guardian. Like in my head, that's a guardian looking after you, kaitiaki looking after you. He's saying, don't go in that tree. That tree's seen some shit. So, yeah. All right. Okay, guys. I'm going to keep going on and on. Thank you. Thank you so much. What we're going to do is we're going to do the synergy time, which is a meditation. Hopefully that doesn't take too long. We'll try and get through that fast. And then I'll get into Pearl's reading. And then after Pearl, we'll just go into free cards. But if you want to jump and be a priority, then there are the $44 readings. Please make sure you go into my stand store, that is in my profile. Be careful of other accounts in the comments that say that they're me, because they're not. That are in my profile, and it has my stand store link. And I'll set it up before I make sure that I've done it, because I probably haven't. I have been rushed. So just give me a moment to set that up. All right. So I hope everybody had a good Tuesday so far, and that you have been feeling, fairly positive. I feel like the energy changed too. Like when I came out and was doing the old big cry, the crying on the internet thing again, I realized that the energy had shifted, and when I came out to speak about it, I became very emotional because I was urged to. You know how you have that feeling like something's pushing you to talk about it, and I was like, I am ready to talk about this, but that urge was so strong. That's why I called it, loving out loud, because I felt like in my throat up here, it was just like, you need to talk about your shit, Sonia. You need to share this right now. And I was like, okay. I had no choice. And I had recorded it about 7 times. And it had escalated so fast, because as soon as I was like, start crying. But that one time that I did share it, even though it was hurting me to speak, I spoke it anyway. And that was my, loving out loud, was that we can share love even if it's uncomfortable to watch. We can share love even if it's uncomfortable to give. We can share love even if it's uncomfortable to receive. And that the right people would go and gravitate towards it. And, it's kind of like in my dream, my grandfather showing up for me was him loving me out loud. He wasn't just some random person in my dream. He was standing right in front of me, trying to help me and offering his love. And that phrase, it's like I could hear it so clearly, and it was like, love never dies. And it just, it was like, my heart. Then I woke up and I have a bit of a crime because he doesn't show up much. Let's just put it like that. It's not usually him that does the everyday work. It's my nan, which makes sense, because if you knew them, you knew that's what he came in for, the special moments, and there he was showing up. But it changes you. It changes you. It really does. It changes the way you see your whole life. And I realized, like a lot of the pain I was feeling was self-inflicted. I was choosing to see it that way. And I often talk about people, choosing love, and how I was not, practicing what I preach. So this is when the universe will make you say, are you sure? Are you sure about that, Sonia? How do I get in here? Sorry, guys. Too busy talking. Not even putting this up. But I feel pretty good. My head feels very clear. And just opening up the live reading donations. And we're just going to get straight into synergy. Time. Synchronize our energies. Get into a heart space. Get really relaxed. And allow that energy to come to us. Thank you, energy. Thank you for that. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So if you guys get into a nice, comfortable seating position or lying down, however you feel called to be, but in a comfortable sitting position. Just breathing in slowly and gently. And when you're ready, close your eyes. Just slow down that breath. much strategy. We're not worrying about how we're breathing. We're just allowing our body to relax all the way down. And when you're ready, feel more relaxed, we're just going to take a deep breath in through our nose. We're going to hold it for a couple of seconds in the heart center, and then as we release, remember, as we let go, if you were here last time, as you exhale, you're going to go like this. Okay, and then you're going to do it again, and we're going to do it about 3 times. So you do it at your own pace, and I'll just vocalize as I go, going through that process of tapping into the heart and activating it, or what I call dropping into the heart. And then it's easier to listen. You know, it's like a radio. If you think about a radio, often we listen to like Spotify and YouTube, and they already have these ready for us. But if you remember the old school radios, you gotta move the dial along to the frequency that you want to receive the channel. And this is where we're going. We're going to move into that heart space because we want to receive the love that's available to us. We're going to activate it in our lives. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold for a couple of seconds. And as you exhale, let a big sigh out. And what that does, it is allowing your body to relax, but it's actually bringing all the energy down through the throat and into the heart. Let's do it again. In through the nose. And all the way out. One more time, in through the nose. And breathe out. May feel weird at first making that noise, but this is a necessary process to teach us how to bring our awareness down into the heart center. Okay. And now we're just going to breathe gently and slowly, and we're going to visualize our energy. Okay. This is how we give it shape and form. This is how we learn to use it. Because a lot of people say energy, but they never truly know how to bend and shape and move their energy. And this is where we have to learn how to do it within our own bodies. So visualize your body, your whole body. Okay. Just as if you're seeing it from above. You can see it in front of you or from behind, whatever feels comfortable, whatever comes to you naturally. And you're just going to scan over your body. Just with your eyes, looking for any places that have shadowing or discoloring that seem a little bit weaker or less lighter than the other parts of the body. Take notice of how it feels, you know, in your skin, inside of you. You might even feel pressure as you scan over your body with your eyes. Just looking for any places that need a little bit of extra TLC. And if you see it, send it beautiful white light or whatever color comes naturally or comes forward to you, to this space. Everybody's energy has different colors. Everybody's space has different things. And just allow a feeling of relaxation and peace to come over you. taking gentle breaths, slowly and deeply. Now I want you to visualize the energy coming up from the floor, as if it's coming from Papatūānuku, from the earth, and slowly filling your body from your toes to your ankles, slowly up the calves. This beautiful light filling your body, clearing and healing any pain, up past the knees, any stress, anything that feels tense or tight, moving up the thighs, just clearing it away, just removing it slowly and gently, moving up to the hips and filling the pelvic area, your sacral area. This beautiful white light moving through, clearing and healing in the bones and all your cells, right down to the atoms, all the energy around you, filling up the heart space, the arms, fingers, moving through the shoulders, slowly, lovingly and gently, up to the neck, filling all the way up through your face, right to the top of your crown. And just visualize a beautiful flower just blooming at the top of your crown, opening up to receive any energies that serve your highest good. A beautiful 1,000-petal lotus. The reason why there's a 1,000-petal lotus in the crown chakra is connection to frequency. The root chakra has 4 and it multiplies and multiplies as you raise your energy up into the crown. And I want you to take a deep breath right now, just slowly breathing in. And as you hold it in your chest, when you exhale, I want you to visualize your energy going all the way out, past your body, past the house you live in, the city you live in, the country you live in, the planet you live in, right into the universe, to the further reaches of the cosmos, as comfortable as it can be for you. And recognize that in this moment, you are connected to all that is. You are learning to expand your energy. And in this space, we create a golden circle of light. It moves through me, it moves through you, and it connects us all in a protective space, in a loving space, in a healing space, allowing us to be joined, allowing us to help each other, to support each other, to allow our healing to happen, and for the light to come in and be shared with each of us. This does not take away from you. This does not hurt you or harm you. You are safe in this light, in this ring, in this protection. You are connected with all that is. You can let down your guard. You can let down your vigilance and feel safe, loved, and connected. And within the circle of light, we welcome in our spiritual teams. Hello. They are very loving. We welcome them in and we thank them for all that they do for us, Whether we know that consciously or unconsciously, your spiritual team consists of spirit guides, ancestors, loved ones who have passed, guardian angels, and energies that love and support you in this life. We hold gratitude in our hearts for them, for all the work that they do for us, and acknowledge our connection to them, our love for them, and their love for us. Just take a moment and allow their love to come to you. Allow their love to come in. We ask them for messages of love, truth, honesty, and compassion. We ask them for messages that provide us with clarity, that allow us to see through challenges and overcome them. We ask for divine guidance and divine energy to step into our lives and guide us clearly where we need to go for our highest good, for the full expression of our souls. We allow their love to wash over us and keep us safe and supported as we embrace the messages needed, the words spoken, and the lessons learned. I feel grateful. I feel blessed. I feel loved. I feel safe. I feel my energy move and flow naturally. And in this space, I feel whole and blessed. And so it is. Just take a moment if you need, as we come back to ourselves, as we feel free and light in this energy, welcoming the love that we need and feeling safe in our own skin, in our own lives, and in our own energy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully I haven't lost you all. Sometimes we need to put our minds at ease before we open up, before we share our words and our heart, and allow our bodies to move into resting states so that we can receive abundance in whatever form shows up for us. Very welcome. Very welcome, my friend. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Aisha. You know, we can feel emotional too. If it comes to you, like when you receive love, sometimes that divine love, it's a lot. You might not have felt love like that before. You might not have connected into that loving state before. So if it does come to you and it feels a lot, take a moment to breathe and allow your capacity to grow. The more you grow your capacity to receive love, the more clarity, the more connected, the more bolder and courageous you feel to live your truest expression, your soul's mission and purpose in this life. You know, it's one of the best free tools you could ever use in your life when you need clarity, when you need love, when you need time, when you need healing. You just call on your team and you let them come in to help you. That's what they want to do anyway. A lot of them can't move without your permission, because even though they can say, hey Sonia, you need to go here, you got to want to go there. But when you're open to receive, you'll be like, I think I should go there because that feels better. And you'll just naturally navigate there. And that's the cool thing about, you know, listening to your own energy, which your spiritual team is a part of your energy. They come with you wherever you go. They are there. You just call them up. Hey, come on, I need you to come in. You know, and sometimes when we get into those heavier states, we become less aware of them. But it doesn't mean that they've gone anywhere. It just means that you're not able to perceive them in that moment. That's all. Okay, so I've got Pearl up first, and I'm just going to do hers, and then we'll take a bit of a list, and we'll just see who gets to get one. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, and you know what? It made my head feel lighter. So that must be like, not like a headache, but like more clarity. You know, like it's like sometimes our head can feel really heavy and full of thoughts and feelings, and that kind of meditation, when we learn to expand our consciousness and our energy out and become connected to all that is, that's actually something that gets taught to people who are learning how to be psychic or intuitive, is that they have to learn to expand their consciousness to receive the information. And the reason why I share that and teach that is because if you can do that in your everyday life, just imagine the kind of messages and guidance you'll get more clearly to help you move forward better. I don't gatekeep that because it doesn't help me or serve me to hold it, you know. So every time I refine my processes, I love to practice them here and help and share, you know. Thank you for the follow. All right, okay, Pearl. Warm up my meridians, energy meridians in my hands. If you'd just like to take a deep breath, I'll do the same. And we'll get started. Here we go. Yeah, that's interesting. So, Pearl, I'm just going to talk honestly and how it comes into me. So what I do is I just sort of tune in. You know, it's like tuning into the radio station. How I talked about you got to find that radio station. Everybody has their own unique frequency, and I kind of just refine my tuning in and find your station. And it's interesting because the way it comes forward was like, you know, you're actually I would say majority of the time quite a you know, positive person in a lot of things that you do. It just feels like you have like this like really merry state, but I don't know if that's always how you feel inside, because the inside feels a little less merry. You know, it's not like merry, like, but it's just like if anyone needs to perk people up, they're going to go to you because you're going to perk people up. You're going to uffy them. You're going to support them. You're going to lift them. You're going to lift their energy, and that can be hard lifting. You know, weight lifting sometimes. And I feel like sometimes well, obviously you're a giver, that sometimes it becomes clouded or unclear when it comes to your own self. Because it feels like you can see so clearly for others because you have your own senses and your own gifts, and you can see so clearly for others, but you know, it is a bit hard to direct yourself, because the way that I felt like was I just heard the word show me the way, Show me how to do it, because I want to know how to do that for myself, not in a greedy way, not in a bad way, but because you actually want to learn how to care for yourself inside out, you know. Because I feel like you do want to be, thank you so much, you do want to be up here and feeling good more than feeling low. And I think the low times, you often not mask them but hide them, not always so well, because I think the people who know you know when you're not really in balance, but I think majority of the time you do put on a good front, and it's not because you are trying to hide it, it's because you don't want to weigh anyone else down, and that's because you know what it's like to be weighed down by other people's mamai. And so there's this really loving, supportive space that you have, and often with that means you're very empathic. You will need boundaries. You know, you'll have to say, okay, I'm going to care for you, but there's a point where it becomes too much for me. And when it becomes too much for you, and I don't know what situation that's referring to, but it's kind of like, I know you need my help right now, but if I can't help myself, I can't help you. You know, and it's kind of saying, I love you, I care about you, but I've still got to do my own stuff, and you've got to go and do your, I can't do that for you, because I feel like there's people that you walk along you walk along with them. I don't know if you walk with them or you walk along with them, and it just feels like you're holding their hand, and you're sometimes you're pulling them, and you're trying to come on, because this is what they've asked you to do. You're like the best support pickle. My cousin was like, I'm a support pickle, which is weird because it's like this little pickle. It just means that you're someone that always tries your best to help people. It's very loving and nurturing. But there's a place in the sun. I heard that so strong. I keep getting images of you smiling in the sun. You know, like that's your favorite place to be. Like it feels like you're someone who likes to be out in nature or by the ocean. Summertime, like you feel a lot more better about yourself, and you, yeah, it just feels like you know, you're quite playful and have a very, as I want to say, contagious smile or contagious laugh. So there's like all these really cool aspects, and I think the lower side of you, or the side, you know, the balance, which we all have that, right, is that yeah, you do have to be strong for yourself, but I feel like sometimes you're actually harder on yourself. You're kinder to others than you are on yourself. I feel like you see a lot of flaws in how you are, and you can critique yourself down quite negatively, and I do encourage positive self-talk. So it just feels like okay, they said you're not bad at positive self-talk, but when it gets low, you can be quite, it can be quite painful. And so it's kind of like, I get that because I've just been through something like that, so I get that. And it's the way that they're talking about it, they keep going like this, and that's my whole keep your chin up kind of thing, because it's sort of like focus forward, not down, not worrying about am I missing a step, is this working out right, like that's where it starts going down, is that you worry a lot that you're not doing things properly or things aren't working out properly for you. So it can be either or, and that can get on top of you and overwhelm you, because you're a deep thinker, you have a loving heart, and so the worry isn't just for you, it's for the people that you love too, because sometimes they get themselves in some in situations, I think, not all the time, but it's sort of like, I would like to not have this happen more than it happening, so it just feels like there's a balance that needs to be happening in your life right now, and that might be hard to balance it. So there are external forces that are happening around you, but I say to you now, it's probably best to create that circle and give yourself space, because I found that I needed a lot of mental space when I'm trying to bring myself back into balance, that I had to keep everybody out of my head, and I had to listen to my own positive thoughts, loving thoughts, kind words, and obviously the memories of the people that loved me. and remember that and move back into the state of being healed. And they're talking about a roller coaster. Come along and ride on my slide, somebody slide. So it just feels like, you know, sort of like we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. And I know that because what's happening for you, and sorry, I'm looking out into space because like I can see images here, but it's in here. It's like the universe keeps trying to bring you up. But yeah, you're like me. You're a lot like me. It's weird. Because that's kind of why I think my grandfather showed up. Is because he was like saying, oh, come on, Sonia, obviously I've got to show up for you because you don't listen to everybody else. Because you've got one foot in the door, one foot out the door. Now we need to shove you right through that door. You know, this is what I was saying. When my grandfather shows up, I listen. And I do what he says, because if I don't, it's not because he was ever mean to me. He was never mean to me, but he was someone that I respected, you know. And so I feel like for you, the universe keeps trying to level you up, but there's a part of you that won't let go of either what you are used to, what you're familiar with, or from the past. And that's why it seems like you go all the way up, then you come all the way back down. And yeah, it's a slippery slide. They said it's a slippery slide. You know, it's like walking up a water slide, up the slide, not up the stairs. You're trying to get up there, up the slide. And the downside is people come down that slide, and so does water, the forces pushing you down. So that's how it feels. But they're kind of saying, well, there's actually another way, but you know, okay, this is the way you want to do. You want to do this dance, Pearl? We're going to do it this way then. And so it feels like the universe is just being like putting neon signs right in front of your face. And I know this sucks to hear this because, you know, sometimes we go, oh, is that a sign or is that not a sign? You know, like, is that a sign? You know, and it is always a sign. You know, it's like there's no signs and everything. Oh, well, you want to know the universe is in everything. So if the universe is talking to you, it's a sign. And never doubt that, because you're important. And a lot of people think, oh, the universe doesn't care about me. Yeah, people even saying that the universe doesn't care about me. You are the universe. Of course it cares about you. And the universe never turns its back on its own. And that's what I mean. Everything, there's all these signs, you know. So just be kinder and gentler to yourself, because you do deserve to be treated well by others, and also in here. You see signs all the time. That's because they love you. Otherwise they wouldn't give you signs, you know. And that's when we have to realize the love that's actually available to us is always with us. And they try and tell us every day how much they care about us. And I mean they, like your loved ones, your spiritual team, the universe, however that lands for you in your world, in your interpretation. And it just feels like, yeah. But that, you know, this is something that I always love it when they do that. They always sort of just like, you know, but we do appreciate the efforts that you do make in challenging times, because they know that can be really hard for you to pick yourself back up and climb back up that water slide. So I do feel you're going to be redirected into a new way, and this is going to allow you to climb the ladder so you can actually reach the top this time. And it may be just into a new way of thinking. It could be just a new way of living out a daily routine. You may add something new, or someone new may come in that is going to show you, hey, what about this? Well, why don't we go here? So I would say in the next few days, if you get any offers to go anywhere or to start something new, say yes. Just start saying yes. And I feel like you've got enough energy to do it. It's weird because, like, when I look at you, you're always playing in the sun and splashing in the water. Like, it's this, and I get a lot of water metaphors in your energy, like actual water, like the pools and things like that. So it just feels like there's a lot of spiritual energy around you all the time. And instead of playing with it, it's asking you to work with it. You know, instead of playing with us, let's do the mahi to get the treats. And so I do feel like, yeah, it just feels like they keep showing me a ladder, to it. Literally, I can see the water slide and I can see a ladder, and for some odd reason I'm actually saying to you, hey, there's a ladder over here. You know, and that's how they're trying to show you. So just be very mindful of getting a lot of synchronicities after this too. So I don't know how that's going to show up for you, but that feels really important, because it's like the way that it comes forward is just, it's about that time. I just heard Lizzo. It's about damn time, is it? It's about that time. So it just feels like, you know, this is your time to rise. This is your time to feel strong and feel connected and loved and blessed and safe and powerful, and take the action, because it feels like, you know, you can do all these things that you were doing before, but are they really helping you? It just feels like you do a lot of things to get yourself back into this, to move up, but they don't seem to work. So maybe it's time to change some of your practices, and or maybe just a lot more dedication and commitment to them. It seems like that. I want to say that because the way they showed that was like turning the volume up. So, you know, get a lot more active in that kind of spiritual routines, getting yourself ready to receive in the morning and discharging at night. It allows for you to have better energy, so it stays in a balanced state instead of always topsy-turvy. That's what it feels like. Your energy happens a lot, but really you just want to be like this, you know, strong. A pillar of strength, a po. Alright, so let's pull some cards and see what's going on with your energy. I'm just going to pull some cards from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit and the Fairy Oracle. These are for, and then some cards from the White Light. The White Light Oracle that I forgot to put on my bed, on my desk. So we'll put those over here. Alright, so you get to have all the cards. For Pearl, please. Oh, that was quick. Yeah. Ooh, I love it. I love it, and I keep getting a lot of this kind of energy coming in for you too. So I'm just going to pull all the cards so I know where I'm at. They just... Thank you. Yeah. And the last one, White Light Oracle, please. Just getting them all done. That way I can just talk and move through the cards. For Pearl. Yeah, this one. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Let's round that up then. Alright, so the first card we get is Tarantula. Da, da, da. Everyone doesn't really like this card because it's a spider, and spiders can represent fear, and also it is of the fire energy. So it's interesting that it comes forward for you, because this is the hairy legs card. Sorry, someone actually said they had hairy legs today, and I remember what they were talking about. So I feel like I want to share that. So anyway, the hairy legs card isn't about hairy legs. It's actually about the sensitivity. So let's put it like this. When you are overstimulated, you go into a fear-based space, because I think you're getting a lot of energy coming in. So this is what I mean. It's like you're on empath overload, and that's what I was talking about before. Like, there's a point where you have to put a boundary up and say, hey, look, I can only get you this far because I can't help you, because I have to help myself. You have to fill your cup first. And I feel like you're on empath overload, and it's creating a discomfort, you know, with this tarantula card. It's not a bad card, it's actually a good card, but it does talk a lot about sensitivity to energy. That's why the hairy legs, it's like the, you know, the hairs on your arms, you know, when you feel spirit or the wairua, and you get the goosebumps on your arms and the hairs go up. Like that. Hang on, guys. Live will end in 4 minutes. Please drag the puzzle piece to the... Is it because they don't want the sleepers on here? So what we'll do is we'll just read the meaning of the book, of the card from the book. We'll read straight to it. Love it. So, I love this. I love this. Tarantula. At a crossroad, claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision, that was what I was going to get into your last card. A great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. So dharma is where we live righteously. Karma is when we're doing bad things and getting bad things happening to us. So our path is to move out of karma into dharma, to live righteously. So everything we do is the right thing to do. Do you know what I mean by that? So that's in Buddhism? No, I don't think it's called that. Sorry, I apologize. Anyway, a habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream. Yet, a voice inside keeps begging you to focus your attention in order to find true happiness. You must choose Dharma until you do. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers patient and calm like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely, but be careful of being overly cautious with this card. So when imbalance follows intuition. That's why I was saying yes. And I love that it came in like that. When people are coming towards you and offering you doors of opportunity, you need to start saying yes, because that's why I was saying it's sensitivity. You know, it's sort of like empath overwhelm. It's like, I can't compute, like it's a glitch. So this could be either good or bad for you. It just depends on how you look at it. When out of balance, hesitates, over-intellectualizes. To bring into balance, daily journaling. So that's, I think journaling really helped me clear my mind. When I really first started my journey, and I still journal now, but not as intense because I have TikTok. TikTok has become my journal. That's where I share all of it. So, because I get a sore hand if I had to write everything that I ever wanted to say from my head to the page. So I actually really love that you got the tarantula, because it's kind of like you're at that crossroads. You're ready for that change. That's that redirection. And it's like, you can keep doing the old way, that way, and we can play this game. Or you can really get into the adult side and go up that ladder, and it'll be so much easier. And that's the thing we don't realize, that sometimes we are actually resisting the current and the flow. And we don't realize, because we're so used to doing it that way, and we get into the habit. So maybe there's new habits. Like I said, there was like maybe something you could introduce into your routine that allows you to create more balance, allow that, that guard, that vigilance to come down and go into that resting state. So this tarantula can actually show you the path that's being weaved for you. It'll either freak you out, or you'll embrace it and take the next step. That is up to you. And the thing is, the universe gets really pushy, but of your free will. It's sort of like, it feels like we've got free will. It feels like we get that choice, which we do, but eventually you'll do what the universe needs you to do, because it's what you want to do. It really is. To go to that next level, to experience what life is like in a different transformation or in a different version of you. And that version has less to carry, which I really love. So underneath the deck, I just want to mention, you got the golden egg. So I feel like they're showing you the way in, which is through your heart chakra. That's the element of spirit. So that's what that is. The golden egg is your heart chakra, the anahata. It just feels like, you may not know, but in the end, you've got a big old heart. So instead of using it on the wrong people, maybe it's time to use it on the right person, which is actually you. So you also got the fairies over here. The Fairy Oracle, you got Gawacha in reverse. So we know Gawacha is kind of like a bit of a sudden shock, or a kind of like a space where you get a bit of a fright. It is a shadow card. So never be afraid of the fairies, because when they show up and they're showing you a shadow card, there's something for you to learn. And it's not because you're bad or anything like that. You're just human, and it does take a little bit of maneuvering to get into the right position. So I'm going to read what Gawacha means, and just to give you an idea of why she's showing up, because she's in reverse. And they can be very direct, these messages, so we'll just hold tight. So Gawacha actually is sudden shock, unexpected events, rude awakenings, Tower card. If you watch tarot, she's like the Tower card. And her message, as it showed up in reverse, stagnation rules. Yeah. So they're coming for you, Pearl. That's why you're getting redirected, because the way that you're moving in your energy, because your energy, if you were actually in free form, like if you were, yes, thank you, if you were in free form, or in a sense of freedom, you could actually be yourself, which is really loving and fun and playful and kind. And it's kind of like, you know, that beautiful childlike energy, embraced with adult wisdom. That's when we become one with our inner child, and we become one with our higher self, and we're in the moment being all three whole as one. And it's kind of like, you know, I always say this to people, but you deserve that. You actually deserve that kind of life. And so stagnation rules. It may seem that the situation is forever stuck, mired down in a swamp of misery, boredom, or pain. So it is. And it will remain so until somebody, probably you, voluntarily sacrifices something outgrown but tightly clung to, in order to acquire something better. Bear in mind that the only truly meaningful sacrifice is ourselves, our time, our energy, our attitudes and beliefs. Gawacha standing on his head suggests that we can break loose from this pattern by dedicating ourselves to some service, some voluntary but meaningful sacrifice that will loosen the knots, break loose the cement around the joints, and set us free. Gawacha would like to see us do this and save him a lot of effort. Otherwise, he offers helpfully, I'll come and help you break loose just as soon as I have a moment to spare. So even though these are shadow cards and there's light and shadow in this deck, the shadow cards are actually revered because they're the bravest. They have the hardest job, which is to redirect us and to teach us, whereas the other fairies get to play. So in getting Gawacha like that, where she's saying, or he's saying, there's a bit of stagnancy there, you also got Guardian at the gate. So it does feel like there's a blockage, you know. But I'm going to flick this card to you and recognize that your heart needs a little bit of TLC. Your heart needs a little bit of love, because with the Guardian at the gate, no one can pass the gate. No one can pass the gate unless they're fulfilled their lessons that they're supposed to learn, and then they get to move up. But see right there, there's this blockage. So it shows me that maybe, you know, there's a bit of work that you need to do on communicating what it is that you want, communicating boundaries, communicating when you need help, and also communicating what you feel inside, what your soul wants you to say. Because when they show up like this, for me, it does feel like you have a lot of spiritual energy, you know. And when they say, you know, you need to put it into service, it means maybe you're supposed to use your skill sets, whatever that is, however it shows up. You know, it doesn't have to be reading cards. It could just simply be, today I want to learn how to become a counselor, or maybe I'll be a support person at a school, or maybe I'll go and volunteer my time at the RSPCA. Like, there's so much loving spaces that you could give to people and places that would actually value you. And then you would feel more confident to do that and recognize that your energy should go where it's valued and not where it's lost. Okay? Because that's how it feels. Sometimes you give your energy to people, places and situations where you feel lost at the end of it, or it's not reciprocated. And so we got the tarantula showing up, showing me that there's an energy sensitivity, redirection and embracing the soul's purpose. Go watcha, so giving you a bit of a growling. And then the guardian at the gate sort of like, no, you need to do the mahi, you have to do the work. So it does feel like you really need to change something, maybe in your routine, maybe the people you connect with often that don't value you or just don't give you that energy. Maybe they feel sometimes it's hard to maintain that high vibrational space that you can often be in. And so finding that balance inside of you means that you will need to find out where you want to be, and find out how that wants to take shape in your life, and then take action. Say yes to yourself. Okay, so the last card I pulled for you is from the White Light Oracle. It is Cupio Dissolvi. So as you can see, if you can't see, it's a person lying there and there's like energy coming out of their heart space. Okay, so I'm going to read that to you and see how it lands. But they did talk about a decision. Okay. So what I felt like I heard or saw was that, there is a situation that you've held on to for quite a long time, or someone that you might have, I don't know if it's loss or if it's a disconnection. Because it just feels like the way that it came in wasn't like loss, like grief, but there is grief there. But it was like loss, like disconnection from someone. If that's not correct, then it just feels like there's a disconnection here within you, okay? And it's like Cupio Dissolvi is about clearing the heart space. And I just feel like there's a decision you need to make, and I think it's about letting go. Because sometimes it's, we hold because it's comfortable. We hold because we haven't been taught to let go. We hold because it feels natural to do so. But actually, truly, letting go is the most natural action. We just never been taught that is. Okay? So I love that for you. I love that Cupio Dissolvi shows up in that way, because it kind of aligns with the rest of your cards, and that golden egg showing up underneath is something you may not know. So, Cupio Dissolvi. It is time to let go. Things are working out in their own way. Trust that your heart is wise and is leading you on a soul healing journey and the right spiritual path. Spirit wants to bring you a blessing and a resolution, but you must let go and allow it to happen. Events are unfolding according to a higher plan. Even if your plans are going awry, know that all will come together at the right time in the best way possible. Surrender your struggle and hold on to your faith. So it says, you do not need to be in control in order to be safe and have things work out in the best possible way. So what this is talking about, this particular card is quite deep because there's multiple layers to it, but it's talking about clearing out toxic environments and toxic people in your life, toxic memories, things that we hold on to that hurt us. I don't know if you saw me going through my stuff. That's really tough, and I had to let it go, but I didn't know that I had to let it go until I was shown that I had to let it go. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not natural what we feel. It's not natural to let go, but it's actually natural to give, to give and to let go, to give or receive and to let go, receive and to let go. So it's kind of like our heartbeat. Pumps in one valve and it pumps out the other valve. It pumps in one valve and it pumps out the other valve. And so it's not always the same energy moving through. It's constantly circling in and out, in and out. We breathe in and out. letting go, receiving it, and letting it go is natural. We just have to get into the habit of learning to let go of the people, places, and situations that hurt us, that are still hurting us, maybe years on, maybe it was only last week, maybe it was only last month, maybe it was last year, maybe it was 10 years ago, or even further. We have to learn to let them go. Otherwise, they always echo in our minds and take up space. And the downside is, if they take up space, that could be precious space for you to receive information, knowledge, energy, grow wisdom, cultivate soul connection, spiritual knowledge, spiritual path. You see what toxic memories take up so much space. And this is something I can vouch for even recently, because it feels like there was a lot of similarities, Pearl, with you and me when it came to this side of letting go of those people, places, and situations that may still hurt. And QPO Dissolve does talk about, also your health, to be mindful of your health, your physical health, to make sure that you're moving into a more healthier lifestyle. Or if you are someone who has a healthier lifestyle, just remember, this is something I said a little bit earlier, don't forget that sometimes the kai that you receive isn't always to eat. Sometimes it's in your brain, sometimes it's in your body, sometimes it's in your environment. So for you being really sensitive, you will have to learn to clear, to discharge your energy, because like I said, that's empath overwhelm. Spiritual hygiene, spiritual maintenance is really important for someone like you, because you're literally showing up as an energy sensitive with that tarantula. And so it's kind of like, it's time for you to get into balance, and it's time for you to let go of the things that need to let go. And that could be a journey on its own. And it's kind of like, the way I want to share it, I know this is going on, but there's a lot of information. The way that I want to share it, what they showed me, is that you often feel like you hit a point and you can go no further. Like that's that guardian at the gate. It's like I know, I can see, I can feel that there's something right here. But you go up, hit that wall, and then come back down. And it's this constant, It's not always easy. It's not. Not at first. Anyway, thank you. Not at first. Thank you guys for 20k likes. I appreciate that. So yeah, no, it's not always easy to let go. But with QPO Dissolve, I just think it's that time. It's time for it. Because if you keep going this way, it's going to end up hurting you. And this is the thing we have to understand. And I mean hurting you, I mean in here and in here. And these are places that we need to keep clear. Especially the upper chakras or power centers. You need to keep those clear and aligned. For you to move from karma to dharma. So, kia ora Ismail. Thank you for finding me again. Thank you for following me. I appreciate you. And welcome back to TikTok. So it just feels like, if you really want to take that next step, then you have to do the mahi that is required within yourself. Like a lot of this, for me, because I'm a soul reader, I'm purely reading your energy, it is asking that work be done. Because there feels like there's so much you could give. But how can you give when you always feel like it takes from you? Like it's draining you. So you have to learn to fill your own cup. And what I mean by that is loving self-talk, loving yourself, loving practices, and learning to communicate how you feel inside, expressing better. I think like expressing, not hard, but expressing with wisdom, compassion and kindness, that's a lot harder. And so it's sort of like, slowing your roll and taking that pause and really just thinking about what it is you want to, bring forward. And so with that guardian at the gate in Gawacha, I feel like you've been stuck here for a while. And so they're like saying to me, it's like, when they're going, I'm getting this. So this is like a signal, like, you know, that movement needs to happen, something needs to happen, because it's just starting to take a toll, you know, on your body, on your mind, on your soul. And I believe you have lots more potential to give, and I believe you have the energy to do it. You just gotta let yourself do it. Okay, Pearl? So if you have any questions about that, you get easily drained. So I will say to you, spiritual hygiene, grounding in the morning, set those intentions, get that barrier up, and then coming home and discharging, letting go of all the things you've taken on, all the things that no longer serve you, all the things that are not chores, letting them go. And it's literally visualizing them like water. I always say it's like water. Just imagine the universe is just washing water over you, and that water returns to Papa Tuanuku, the earth, you know, and with that water, all the, you know, the dirt from the day, or the energy from the day washes away and goes to the earth, and the earth will recycle it. And when it comes back to you, it's positively charged energy. It's life force. So it's kind of like, you know, you, as a sensitive, you will need to do things like that to keep yourself going. Okay? But thank you, Pearl. I appreciate that a lot. And it just feels like, you know, sometimes the universe puts a pause on us to get us into our frustrated self, and then pushes us out, so that, oh no, it gives us the energy to push ourselves out of this phase and go into a momentum phase, an action phase. So say yes more often, with caution, and without caution, but with wisdom. You know, don't be afraid of what may happen, just allow it. Thank you so much. So we're going to put up a bit of a list, I guess. Shall we take some names, guys? What's our time? Holy shit, that went fast. Hi Mel. Hi guys. Yeah, should I take the list? I hate taking the list because I suck at it. But I probably should. I should. Unless you got one. Okay. Alright guys, let me just give these cards a shuffle, and then we'll take some names. Okay, Vicky. I'm going to put you up there, Vicky. And JPT88. Thank you, Pearl. I hope that message served you in some way, shape or form. And I have lots of confidence in you. I feel like, you know, if anyone's going to do it, you're going to do it. You're going to do it for you. Because it's A, something you want, and something you deserve. So I believe in you, my friend. Lorraine. Kia ora, Lorraine. Hi, kia ora. Mel and Tyler. Okay. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do is just pull a card for each of you, and if I feel drawn to pull more, I will. But we'll make these ones a little bit faster. I gave a long one to Pearl because she actually purchased one, so thank you. And please keep liking, I appreciate that. I'll see how my energy is at the end of this, guys. See how we go. We've got Vicky, JPT88, Lorraine, Mel, and Tyler on the list. And then I'll open up after you, Tyler, if I feel drawn to. Okay, Vicky, you'd like to take a deep breath? I don't know why I giggled when I thought about your energy. I don't know why I feel like I got the giggles. Just refreshing the energy. Okay. I'm cracking up. I'm cracking up. I'm going to be honest, Vicky, I think the universe has been putting you through the ringer. And I say this a lot to people because the cards all came out in a clump, and they're like a little bit all over the show. And then the only card that didn't fall out was actually the one that was sitting in my hand, which is a completely different card altogether. So a lot of activations in your energy. That could be social interactions with new people. It seems a lot more heart or love centered. I don't know if that's something that's come into, or something that's starting to. Just seems that love feels really important for you at this time. Let's just put it like that. But also you might be a bit afraid of love or I have to say this cautiously, because it's not like you know, like it doesn't feel like romantic love, but it just feels like you've been focusing a lot on the people you love. Okay, they just want me to bring that back a bit, because I feel like I gave you that impression it was like romantic. Could be, but it just feels like you've been very focused on the people that you love, but there's a lot of thoughts and there's a lot of feelings that haven't been either said, shared, or communicated. And so here we have the cosmic egg, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure that this is the crown, because the other one was the anahata, and this one I'm pretty sure is, yeah, this is the crown. That's interesting. It means completion, harmony, the infinite within the finite. Yeah. So I just see a lot of activations. I really like that. The spiritual spaces. So what can that show up as? Okay. I feel like you're getting a lot of the way that they came forward was like they were giving you directions. I don't know if this is making sense, because it's kind of like yes. Sorry, I can hear them going jibble jabble, jibble jabble. It's kind of like things are all over the show, so we're trying to sort out your thoughts and your energy to the strongest storyline that needs to come forward. And so I get the cosmic egg. There's a lot of other things happening in your life. I don't know whether your energy has been really active. That's why I said there's a lot of activations. It just feels like there's a lot of things going on. But really your spiritual path has definitely been a windy one. But there's something there. I think you've been feeling a lot of spiritual presence, maybe someone that you love, and you're not too sure if they're showing up for you or not, but of course they would if this is something that is actually truthful for you. It just feels like Spirit's been really waking you up, you know. I don't really like that terminology, more like remembering, you know, because awakening, well, you're already kind of awake, but consciously you awaken to more information or become aware. And it's like it just feels like I'm remembering. Feels like you're getting directed a lot. And it also feels like there's conflict there. I think maybe sometimes the way you've been taught about spirit and actual spirit is two separate things, or how you've learnt about it seems like there's a conflict there. I don't know what this, there's a lot of different energies coming in, and it's sort of like I try and push them out, but they keep, it's like I try to push them out, but they keep coming in. Push out, keep coming in. So something wants to come back together. That's how it feels. And I don't mean it in, I just feel like in your life something wants to come back together. Something wants to reunite or reconnect. So I don't know if you've had a disagreement with someone and there was this happening and there was no communication, and now it just feels like there's communication again, or an activation towards communicating, or the urge to communicate. Yeah. But don't hold your heart too tight. See, I feel, see how I'm going like this? And it's not because I'm cold, because I've got the heater on. It's like, you know, when I sit in your energy, it's just like there's a little bit, you're a little bit on guard here. And that's when they said don't hold your heart too tight. Because with the cosmic egg, it doesn't feel like how it should. It doesn't feel like how it should. And that's how I want to say it. And it's sort of like, yeah. I think you might need a bit of a deeper message, and I'm going to be honest, because these are like the free ones, but also because this situation feels complicated. Okay, this situation feels like there's a lot more going on than meets the eye, and I feel like I'm just grabbing straws and always ending up with the short straw. So there's things that obviously I can't see clearly because maybe I'm not supposed to share them here. But I want to say this: when they said don't hold your heart too tightly, it feels like you've been very guarded. It feels like you've been guarded, and the downside to being guarded here is that you're not open to receive love or help or support in the ways that need you to be open to receive that. And you may not necessarily trust people who are coming forward like that too, that are trying to be loving, because like I said, it's like this keeps happening and I can't understand what that is. But it's like, you know, it's not just one, you know, it's not just like that. It's literally like trying to weave what I would say a whāriki, a mat, together. It just feels like that. And I feel like that's family. And I feel like you do feel either restricted or wound so tight, you know, like really tense, that you're not actually being able to move out of that state of vigilance, and that's not healthy for you, my friend, especially when you show up with the crown chakra, which means, you know, your thoughts should be open, your energy should be flowing, there should be more fluidity here, but there seems to be a lot more tensity, and I don't really like it. My thing is that I think you are afraid to let your heart be open to certain people because they haven't been so nice to you in the past, and that they may be trying to come forward in a way and you don't trust, or there might be just a state where you just simply don't trust people anymore. So it just depends, and everything comes full circle, and you've been very fixed on this. It seems you've been very focused on it as well. So the cosmic egg, you know, you have to allow that egg to be born, to hatch, to see its true potential. So there is a trusting that has to happen. And the way that I want to say is, like, it doesn't have to be painful either. You can build a bridge and get over it. Oh, that was clear. You need to build a bridge. That's why they're coming together. They're coming together. You need to build a bridge. Because the more you sit in it, the worse it gets for you. And the worse it gets for you, the harder it is to get out of it. That heaviness. So I feel like you're protecting something. I'm not saying that. They literally showed Smeagol going, my precious. My precious. So, you know, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say it. A gift. Oh, how did you say it? They said, I'm trying to remember the words that they brought in. A gift is more valued when it's shared. Okay? You're not an island. You're not an island. Don't isolate yourself or separate yourself if that's the case, if that's what's going on. Because there's that same message, eh? Because, you know, you really are loved in some ways, and if you're having difficulty with that, that's because you are in vigilance, and vigilance won't get you anywhere but paranoid. That's the straight up truth. This is why I always do the synergy. This is why I always allow people to get into their heart. This is why I always allow people to relax, because they have to be relaxed to receive their message. Because if they're not receiving their message, if they're blocked off, they won't, the healing that comes with the message, the insight that comes with the message doesn't get to them, or it's not fully realized within them. So it just feels like you got to go through some hoops. That's what they're saying. There's a lot of stuff about circular. So what goes around comes around, cycles of life, but it's very circular with you. And that's why we got this card, right? Because the snake's going round and round and round and round this precious energy here. And, you know, like, if we just look at the image, how can the egg be born if it's always stuck? So something has to be released, and I do feel, and if I'm honest, it's your heart. That's why you got a message from me. That makes sense. I'm a heartist. You know, healing hearts is an art. Oh, I was going to wear my hoodie, but I forgot. Healing hearts is an art. It's hard to heal your heart if it's been hurt. And that could be from grief or loss. It could be about family. So it makes it more deeper and harder. So it just feels, if you are going through something right now where you need to get the message is simply let go. Simply let go and free yourself from holding this for so long. You know, this is probably going to be a message for everybody, because it's also the message I received as well. Because the thing is, the cosmic egg has to be born. It has to be born for a new way to happen, for a new thing to begin, for a new chapter, for a new life. So I feel like, you know, when you actually release the need to control this, you'll actually start a new beginning. And maybe in that beginning, you won't have that kind of pain. You won't have that kind of resistance to love or disconnection from it. And I think forward focusing is better for you than sitting in that and holding on to it. So I share that to you with love. I hope it helps you in some way, shape or form. But yeah, lots of love to you, Vicky. That was a bit of a deep one. Have we got JPT88? Oh, sorry, the messages always stayed still. Thank you, Nat. Sorry. Yes, I got you. Hi, Jen. Sorry. All the messages stopped moving up. Hopefully that made sense for you. Thank you. But that's actually a beautiful card, you know, to get the cosmic egg on your, you know, it just shows you have a lot more wisdom than you give yourself credit for. Thank you. Kia ora. Oh, kia ora, Hawaii. Alright, JPT. Sorry, why am I saying JPT? Ooh. We're getting some heavier cards today, but that's okay. Like, we're in the thick of it. We can give ourselves permission to be in the shadow or to have some heaviness on us. So the raccoon. The raccoon's an interesting card to come forward for you, because it kind of talks about hiding, you know, in the shadows and pulling back and not fully revealing yourself, because there may be parts of you that are, you may, yeah, there's a thing, eh? Yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm going to say it because I don't like this blurting things out like that. But have you actually ever really known who you are fully and expressed it, because it feels like the way that the universe is showing up is that you can't keep standing in the shadows because you don't deserve to be there. And this is something that we have to understand. The reason why the universe is showcasing the raccoon. I'm so sorry, I can hear my kids. I'm on live. Yous are right by my door, distracting me. Those are my big kids. They just got home. So it does feel like, I don't know if this makes sense to you, but it's like you can't keep hiding in the shadows. You can't keep withdrawing. You've got to actually step into the light. And this is something that I want to share with you, because I have this memory, and this is how it was. I'm so sorry. This is how it was to come forward. I have this memory of me, my mum, and my brother at Christmas time, okay? And I am charcoal because I tan very. When I was young, I was charcoal, pango, black hairs, okay? And like seriously. And there's a picture of us at Christmas. I'm sorry, this is just the way it comes forward. Of me, my mum, and my brother. And my mum and my brother standing at a certain angle, and the light is shining on them, okay? And I'm just a little bit back, but I'm in my mum's shadow. So her shadow's on me, and you can't see me. All you can see is the outline of my body and my toys, but you can't see me. It's because I am dark, but also because I'm in the shadow of someone else. And to heal that, this is the beautiful thing about what I love about my grandfather, and how he showed me sort of how to heal myself, was that he pulled me out from the back and brought me forward into the light. And this is why they're like, and this is why I say to you, the universe is tired of you stepping back. However that sort of resonates in your life. The universe is tired of you stepping back. You've got to step forward. Because the world's a better place with you stepping into the light. Sharing your love, sharing your energies, sharing your thoughts, sharing your star qualities. Because we all have them. We always say, I've got nothing good about me. Well, find it. Find it. That's a bit of a challenge, because it does feel like you play small. Because underneath the deck is the mouse. Thank you for joining my team. Small details. So it does feel, thank you. It does feel here that you've got something special. You want to show up. But maybe you're afraid of your own light. Your own radiance. Your own brilliance, your own success. Maybe there are things that keep you hidden, A lot of that with the raccoon is like, I'm not feeling worthy enough. I don't feel strong enough. I don't know who I am. That's why I said that. And the raccoon is of the earth suit. So let's read what the raccoon has to say. Where's the raccoon? Yeah, talented, shadowy, and hiding. See, talented straight away. I knew it. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. So when in balance, a generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. And to bring into balance, make new work. I love that. It's just like, make new work. Go on, you can do it because you're talented. And even in the shadows, you can still be talented. And even in the shadows, you can still share light. You don't always have to show your face. And when I say, come out, it just means that you are deserving of the light too. Always have been. and always will be. So I feel like the raccoon does you no justice. It doesn't even share half of what you got to share with the world, or just with the people you love, or a wider community. It doesn't talk about just putting your face out on blast and crying on the internet. You know, you can do it more gently and what's more natural for you. But you do have some kind of skill, some kind of gift, and the world needs you to share it. And that's what the universe wants all of us to do, because I think we have to get over living half a life and not a full one. You know, being sad in our lives for majority of it, and barely experiencing a fully expressed and loved life. We're harder on ourselves and more critical of ourselves. Kia ora, huriri art. More critical of ourselves than anyone else. And 9 times out of 10, people don't even think the way that they think. People don't even think the way that you think they think. Unless they've actually vocalized that. But we have to realize that if people say things like that, when they say to you, oh, you know, you're not that good at that, that's their own limitation, not yours. If you've got a skill, if you've got some kind of talent, use it to the fullest expression. Because that's why you have that talent. And 9 times out of 10, it's either a natural talent, an innate ability that you just pick up and can do, or it's a passion. And when it's a passion, it lights you up. And when it lights you up, kei te pai koe. Kei te pai. Thank you for asking. And it just feels like you're ready to come out of that phase and show yourself, you know, show yourself. And that's why I tried to share with you what the memories that I had. And that memory was of me standing in the shadow, not being seen, not being part of that family space, not being valued. But it's just a photo. It's not the truth of what was actually happening or there at that time. And so, but in my memory, and the way that I remember it, it's just like, I remember that photo. No one can see me. I'm just in the back. You know, I'm not even loved. You know, that narrative can get really, really bad. So it's kind of recognizing, no, you're still deserving of the light. Just move yourself forward. Move yourself to the front and add that value, you know. So I hope that helps you and serves you in some way, shape or form. Thank you, JPT 88. Yeah. You know, like raccoons have heaps of talents. They don't always have the greatest rep, but they got heaps of talent, man. So, you know, that tenacity. Tap in. I send that to you with lots of love. Okay, we've got Lorraine. Okay, my friend, take a deep breath if you like to. Let's get straight into it. Whoa, okay. Oh, okay. These two jumped out in my hand together. Oh, Lorraine. You got the cheetah and the bear. So, literally opposites. They are literal opposites. So, extreme highs and extreme lows. That's what I'm getting for your energy. And how's that self-talk going? So, but the cheetah energy, a lot of us will take cheetah. Oh my God, that's a negative card. It is not. It is about fast-moving action. This is like eyes on the prize, moving in momentum. You know, it's a beautiful thing, the cheetah, when you see it, when it's running at full pace. You know, it's just like this beautiful, well-oiled machine, well-conditioned machine. It's just like pumping out the energy. And it is of the fire element. So the cheetah is actually about moving forward. I'm cracking up because they go, are you sure you're going forward? Or are you rushing back, always rushing back and reverting back? And then having to start again, because it feels like you've been starting something again. Start it again. So, yeah. Okay, and then you've got the bear, which is about waking from slumber and becoming consciously aware. So two absolutely different energies. If I can be completely honest, Lorraine, you do need to create better balance, because the way that it feels for your energy, it's just like hit or miss, feast or famine, high or low, like there's no in between. And you really need to stop hurting yourself with negative self-talk, because the cheetah energy, you know, like, because when I see the cheetah, I'm like, yeah, I love the cheetah, but it just felt negative when it came out like that with the bear. I think there's a lot of things that you feel a little bit angry about, very angry about, situations that you have with people, because I think they just really piss you off, to be honest. I think some people really get on your nerves and you don't trust them. And as soon as that comes into play, you kind of just go to the extreme and revert back. So it feels like you really try to move forward and do like spiritual practices or tune in, you know, and then I find that you just, boom, like there's no, you know, there's no movement there. It's like, what is that? What is that? Tug of war. Thank you. And that could be in your thoughts, in your emotions, and in your body. So it just feels like you never feel settled like you should. Like you'd never feel balanced. So let's just read what the cheetah is, because I feel like that might ease your mind a little bit more. Okay, so this is a masculine card. Okay, so what's they going to say to you? All right. This could refer to a masculine, or this could refer to the masculine energy within you. Okay, so we have to understand we have feminine and masculine energy. And this card means solar force, action, achievement, and masculine energy. The cheetah is the epitome of the solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah, it shines from inside the great creature and expands outward to brighten the universe. The energy within a cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements, purpose and passion. To their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. That's that pause, right? When in balance, achieves anything boundless energy. When out of balance, impatient and competitive. To bring into balance, reconnect to purpose. And that's that bear. That's a spiritual awakening. That's like waking up for the first time after being asleep for a long time, you know, coming out of hibernation. So often when everything gets a lot, you go and withdraw, and then you've got to wake yourself up and get back into better routines. But it just feels like, and I'm going to be honest, you need a better inner monologue. You need more loving thoughts, because I feel like your thoughts with that cheetah energy is really powerful and can be used in some beautiful ways, but the combination with the bear doesn't suit it. The combination with the bear slows it down. The combination with the bear makes it heavy or hard. And so it's like you've got all the momentum, you've got all the mojo, you don't know how to use it. You don't know how to use your own energy properly, where it enhances you. And you're not alone. How many of us didn't know how to use our own energy? How many of us didn't know our own path or our own purpose? You know? And like for me, a lot of us, we're like, oh, we need to find our soul's purpose. We need to do what we need to do. Like it's just going to be like this awesome thing, but sometimes it's something we're naturally gifted at, you know. And I talk about like reading cards and intuition. When I found it, it was like it found me. It was natural for me to be this way, you know. And this is something that we have to understand, that 9 times out of 10 our gifts are what we're naturally good at. We came into the world with. We can just do without thinking. And it's sort of like a lot of us don't know that purpose or that innate ability or talent, because we may not have discovered it. Means we must explore ourselves better, but we lack a connection with ourselves. And that's not, look, I'm not dogging you out. It just feels like, you know, you got to stop running away from yourself. You've got to stop letting yourself fall to pieces or burn up in the energy, and just allow yourself to be in a moment, and allow that moment to take you to the next, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and not to let negative thoughts and feelings guide you away from your actual purpose and your path. And I say stay steady on that path, stay strong on that path, because the more you step forward for yourself, the more you move towards your purpose, easier and faster. It just feels like you need to calm your farm in here. Your mind gets away from you sometimes, and often it just feels like your body takes a longer time to catch up. And so there's always this push me, pull you, tug of war going on inside of you. And the downside is, if it's happening inside, it shows up in your reality. You know, there could be conflict with others. There could be feeling negative towards others, because there's a lot of negativity moving through you. So the best way to counteract that is to A, be kind to yourself, B, do something that actually makes you feel good. Don't sit or wallow in it. Take some kind of inspired action to move that out of your body. You know, whether that's therapy. You know, I even considered doing therapy recently, because the healing that I'd gone through had shown me things that I needed to change. And so I was thinking I should do therapy. And there's no shame in that. There should be we should actually normalize that. going to therapy and speaking to someone that can actually give you structured tools and strategies of the human nature for your mind, to help you move through difficult situations that you may find yourself in over and over and over and over again. Aren't you tired of it? You've got to be tired of it by now. And this is why, you know, you might look for spiritual advice, but a lot of the work that has to be done in your life. All the spiritual advice in the world won't work if you're not taking those steps to make it better too. Okay? And get your mind right, get your body right, and then allow your soul to guide you. Get into the heart. Take a moment, take a breath. You know, it's sort of like I feel like I do want to say therapy to you, because it just feels like you need some kind of, you know, one-on-one contact with someone that actually knows how to help you in your situation, if you're not doing therapy already. Because there is a spiritual awakening, like a deeper one. If you haven't had one, then there's a spiritual awakening, or if you have had one, then a deeper connection is asking to come in. You have to create space. Don't run away from it, because if you run like that cheetah, it's going to follow you. It finds you. There is no running. Thank you so much for that gift. Thank you. Thank you, Lorraine. Lots of love to you. That's not always easy to go through that and to have someone say that on the internet. But it just feels like you're ready to make that move, and you will. You will, because in the end, it's better than suffering. You know, getting that help, being uncomfortable. So lots of love to you, Lorraine. I hope that serves you in some way, shape or form. And so we got Mel. Mel, what's going on with your energy? Is Mel there? Okay, awesome. Just making sure. I'm just going to take a deep breath. Feel free to do that as well. Actually, I'll just have a bit of a drink first. Ooh, scale that up. All right, Mal. Let's see what card likes to come forward. What's been going on, Mal? Because I can hear the song. Oh, excuse me. I can hear a song, and it sounds like sending out an SOS in the distance. So I feel like you might have had a bit of a tower moment, either in the recently or in the recent past. Oh, you got the elephant. You know, Mal, I'm just going to say this because I feel like this is what came forward as soon as I kind of saw this card, the elephant, which is one of my favorite symbols whenever I see it. You know, it's like, okay, everything's going to work out for me. Oh, okay, Huani, thank you. I'll just put your name down. Thank you, Huani. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's going on a week? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I really like this for you because it kind of lets you know that everything's going to be okay. Because, you know, the elephant itself is about, for me, and in the book, it talks about Lord Ganesha. So, or Ganesh. And he is kind of like, he clears the path or he blocks it. It depends on what you need. But all of it done with love. It talks about focusing a lot better. It talks about, you know, it's like, I'm going to say this, just say it. Because I try to sort of warm up before I just go heading with the hard stuff. You've been through a lot, Mel. You've been through a lot, and you probably aged really fast, like not physically, but you had to grow up fast. It feels like you had to be onto it a lot and think like an adult even when you were younger, because you had to, it's like I had to get through this shit, you know, and you might feel a little worn out at this point because you're always having to be like the strong one and the one that makes a lot of the decisions for your life, and there's a part of you that just kind of wants to rest and rejuvenate. And I think it's been showing up is a lack of motivation, you know, so like, you know, you've got to do that thing over there, I'll do it tomorrow, you know, but I got to do it now. So there's always this weird feeling like I got to do it, but I can't do it, but I got to do it, but I can't do it, but I got to do it, you know, like, and so your mind is constantly occupied with those kind of thoughts. I should do this. So you're someone who's a high functioning overthinker. Yay, welcome to the club. And it just feels like there's struggle in that there's a lot of, you know, space with that. Because it feels like the way that it feels in your energy is that you've come out of a heavy or hard time or a challenging time, and it's kind of slowing down a bit, and now you're having to, you know, sort of just get used to being in obviously a new environment and a new space with yourself, but you do feel a little worn out. I really suggest you go on a bit of a vacay. I know that you may not be able to now, but planning it, preparing for it in the future or distant future, hopefully not that distant, but further down the line, actually going on some type of holiday that allows you to rejuvenate, because it's kind of like the way that it comes forward is like you're an old soul, and the downside to being an old soul means you went through a lot at a young age. That's what people mean when they say you're an old soul. It means you've been through a lot, and people can tell because there's wisdom in people that have been through a lot. And you know, you can, I feel like you've just got a natural talent for picking out people that are just bad. It's like, you got bad intentions, you got bad intentions, you got bad intentions. Like, a lot of us have that radar, right? Because we've had to be sensitive to other people's energy, because we had to be safe, or we had to be on guard because not everybody was as they seemed. So, you know, it's kind of like, if I pick up on bad vibes, I ain't going to be your friend, I ain't going to pay you any attention. And I think that's something that you've had to learn, because before you have been hurt by not doing that. So there is a form of vigilance in your energy. But I want you to also know that the sun is shining upon you. That's how it feels. with Ganesha coming forward, it's like saying, you know, we've been through it, but we're here now. So it's kind of like, you know, letting yourself relax and enjoy this moment, and whoever's coming forward for you, that's of good vibes. So if you're getting, like, let me just put it to you, if there's someone in your life that you're not sure about, there's a reason, okay? And because you have that ability to sort of sense or sniff out trouble, I want you to trust that. And unfortunately, that could be someone that's close to you. And it may not be that they're doing something completely bad, but they may not be doing something that's good for you. You know, like, it's kind of like, if there is someone in your life, if there's not, this could also just be family members or people that you connect with, is kind of like, they could just be really selfish. Or just be selfish at this time. They may not necessarily always be that way, or okay, or they're just being bloody useless. And maybe you need some support, maybe you need some help. So don't forget to tune up anybody that needs to support you the way that you've supported them. Don't forget to create boundaries with people that are giving you bad vibes, and don't forget to allow your radar to be at ease sometimes, because you've done a lot of work and you don't always have to be on guard, because if you're doing everything you're supposed to, the right people will be with you, because you're in the right place at the right time and you're the right person. I say this to a lot of people, but truly, when we're moving correctly, we are always in the right place and with the right people at the right time. So this message for you is kind of like saying, you know, you can let yourself rest now. It's been a long journey. Maybe it's time for you to actually enjoy this part of your journey. Make a space your own. Put your own touch on things. And just be at ease. It makes it better for you. And it just feels like, you know, yeah, that's interesting. They just said, don't forget, an elephant never forgets. So, you know, I was at Fool Me Once. Was it? Fool Me Once? I don't know, actually can't remember it, but I just heard it. Fool me once, da-da-da, fool me twice. You know, that's on me. So it just feels like you don't really often give people a second chance. And there's a reason for that. So I think you actually do a lot of things based on your own inner guidance, because you do have a very nice navigational system. It's just a little bit, I would say it's just a little bit more based in fear and control within yourself, not towards others. Fear of letting down your guard to the wrong person, fear of being out of control or in situations that are uncomfortable and unknown to you. So it's kind of just saying, be at ease, you know, now. You can be at ease now. And I do believe you're going to be inspired in some way, shape or form. I feel like the universe is going to, this is just how it felt like it was coming in, that the universe is actually going to inspire you to do something. What is that? Something new? Something out of the box? Or different from you, from your normal? And it's kind of like, it's for you, not against you. They're saying that loud. It's for you, not against you. It's not there to hurt you. So if there is something new coming in, I'm not going to say yes, but I just say simply entertain the idea. Trust your instinct, your gut feeling, follow your intuition, and allow wisdom to come into any situations that require thought. Okay, so know thyself, my friend. Know thyself and things will become clear. Oops, sorry. So that's all I'm getting for you. I hope that made sense in some way, shape or form. I hope that message serves you in some way. And thank you very much, Mel. I'm going to do Tyler and then I'll do Hawani as the lucky last. Hawani, you get to have that time to hear your message. And I'll just finish this little list here. Okay, is Tyler there? Oh, you spot on. The responsibility is real. Yeah, it is. There is work that you need to do, but don't forget the balance of resting and rejuvenating your body, your mind and your soul. Okay, and that's why it's kind of like it's time for you to sort of just plan and prepare to do things like that, because the more you like planning that holiday, the more you sort of look forward to something good, you kind of let go of all the things that might be nagging at you here. So it just feels like, yeah, welcome to the high functioning overthinker club. It's official, you are one. All right, Tyler, here we go. Tyler. So we're just giving it a good shuffle. There we go. Let's pull a card for Tyler, please. For high's good. Okay, that's interesting. You got two cards came out together. I tried to separate them, but they didn't want to. Oh, I just think that there's a card that you're aware of and a card you're not aware of. So you got the butterfly, my friend. That was card 1. And underneath that was the buffalo. Butterfly and buffalo, bees. Bee. Boo, boo. I don't know, they're like... Sorry. It's just the way that they said that. Okay, that's weird. And then it was just literally like, they said B-U-T-T, B-U-F-F, like they're kind of related to each other, like butterfly, but buffalo. Different words, but it's just the first few letters are similar, so I don't know what that means right now. But it feels like there's a connection to both of these cards. The buffalo did come in reverse though, so we know there's a reverse meaning to this, which is abundance. That's what buffalo means. It's sort of like the abundance. So with the butterfly card coming in, you know, that's the evolution, right? So the evolution isn't very easy though. That's really hard. That's coming out of the dark night of the soul, because I feel like you've had a lot of inner conflict. So in context to your card, the butterfly, she feels a little tense. I know that sounds weird. It's like, I've got these beautiful wings, I've got this beautiful butterfly body, you know, I'm going into something new, but you may not know what to do with it. You may not know where that wind is blowing you. And we all know with the butterflies, they're amazing acrobats. This is something I say all the time. They're very strategical. They know how to move. You know what they do? They literally give themselves to the element. They surrender to the air, and they allow the air to guide them, and all they do is just move their wing. Like a plane. Literally like a plane. So if you are going on a trip, don't be too worried about it, because I just want to say it like that, but it's like that butterfly feels tense, and I keep seeing like the wings moving. So it's kind of like you would think a butterfly would go like this. For some odd reason your wings seem to be very rigid, and I don't really like that because it feels a little bit unnatural. So what I do believe in your energy is that I think you're expected to be in a different space, mind space, with your spiritual journey or within your life, and you may have found that, you know, I want to pursue something, but yet I'm there and it doesn't really satisfy me. And the reason why I'm just going to say this, the reason why you haven't hit that that jackpot with this buffalo in reverse is because you might be living out someone else's expectation of what spirituality is and not your own. That you may be thinking that you're supposed to be a certain way, but your energy may express it differently, and so you really need to get a lot more in tune with you. I don't know where you may be at with that, but it just feels like, you know, there's room for improvement here, because you didn't go through all that shit to end up being a butterfly that doesn't like being a butterfly. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta love being a butterfly. You gotta learn to give yourself over to the thoughts, to the to the channel. That's what they literally said. You're resisting. You're resisting spirit. That's gotta be tough. And I understand why you would. Because you were designed a certain way, and so you must use that according to that design, and that may not feel comfortable with you, because there may be things you want to do, there may be places you want to explore, you may just still be on that path of learning who you are, you know, and so you do have to learn that you're made this way. Denying parts of who you are is like denying yourself, that buffalo. Because it's kind of like the reason why they keep singing but and buff, but and buff, B-U-T-T-B-U-F-F, B-U-T-T-B-U-F-F. That's what I was hearing in my head, is because the butterfly is a buffalo. It transforms. And that's what I mean. That's what it feels like. Maybe you think you have to be one way, but your energy is designed another way, and that is to channel spirit. But I don't think you're comfortable with that. And that's Katie Pie, and I get that. And so, you know, it's kind of like, are those my thoughts or are those not my thoughts? We've all been through that, haven't we? And I just feel like that buffalo, the reason why it comes in reverse, and we'll actually read the buffalo card. Well, let's read both of them. One's element is air and one is earth. So where's that one there? Give me a moment, please. Wolf. Spider, horse. No, it's back here. Is it this one? No. Actually, no. It's eluding me. I thought it was one of the higher cards. Oh, it is, yes. So we'll just read the buffalo, because I want you to know what you could be, okay? So you got the buffalo. It says, grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise towards the heaven. Towards heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time. And may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. When in balance, trusting pure presence. When out of balance, restless, lacks gratitude. To bring into balance prayer and bhakti, which I think is a form of yoga, but don't quote me on that. And then we'll read the butterfly. Why not? Wants to be read. Okay. Butterfly. Undergoing great change and transformation. The energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition. Since air is the element of the heart, this change usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon, committing to one daily routine, a meal, practice or prayer, done at the same place and time, will do wonders for lifting a butterfly spirit. Is that talking about grounding in the morning and at night because you're an energy sensitive? And maybe you need to energize and discharge because a lot's coming in, because it just feels like the way that it comes into me is that your mind is cluttered with other people's thoughts, and that makes it harder to know your own, and then also harder to distinguish your path from others. And this is why tuning in, grounding in, clearing allows us to listen to ourselves and reunite with ourselves and connect down into ourselves. And so I just feel like you can be the buffalo, but right now you just have to make a choice on how that shows up for you, because you're going through a great change and transformation, right? But it just feels really uncomfortable. So you have to make some kind of peace with it. Like I said, the butterfly surrenders to the element. It allows the element to move it, to allow it to go to that path it needs to go to. And it's kind of like when you look at the buffalo trusts every turn. The buffalo allows that path to turn it without fearing of what's next or how that will feel or how that's going to show up. So that could also be in your career. You could be changing your lifestyle. You could be at a precipice where you need to change direction or redirection. So that for me, the butterfly is like the butterfly. They just showed me a whiki, they literally showed me an octopus, and it was just like all the tentacles are reaching out and spreading out. So I don't know that kind of recently just learned about Moana Kiwa, like the islands of the Pacific. Are you going on a holiday? Is there a place that you want to go to that would light you up, that would rejuvenate you too? So it just feels like the way that it comes in is just there's so many different sources of information and stimulation for you. It can feel overwhelming and hard and just uncomfortable, and you might have disconnected a little bit from your actual like I said, your gut instincts. You know what's right, when it's a good time to move. You trust that from your heart, being clear and open to receive from your head, because and it's funny, because you were the one that had the headache, right? That's because your mind is filled with other people's thoughts, and there could be just things that they say. It doesn't necessarily have to be at you or you absorbing it, but it could be just people sharing stuff, and it ruminates in your head, like it circles in your head, and you get stuck in loops. Yeah. I think you need to go in the Ngāhere in the forest and get some peace, because it's just the way that the Kazi Perere had said today, that it's kai for your mind. It's like it lets all the worries, and I feel emotional saying that, oh my gosh, it lets all the worries of the day go, all the stress about bills and about, friends and social activities and work and career. And in the tile, in nature, you are simply just whole. Like it's a place of protection. The canopy blocks out all the, the radio waves. And it just feels like you might need a little bit of that, my friend. Oh, divine timing. Yeah, you can be, because we are like radio stations, Judith. Sometimes we tune into different frequencies and hear different radio stations. The same as with our mind. Depends on where our frequency is, and that will depend on how easily we connect with others. Yeah, I bushwalker pauper. Well, I think I pawpaw. I think you. I just love the way that that came and it shot into my brain. So it's kind of like you know, it's medicine for your soul. Are you getting tired and weary on this path? Sometimes you need to just take a seat, take a moment, and get right with you. Grab that energy, grab that motivational inspiration that's going to help you move forward. Because that buffalo wants to come into being. That buffalo wants to happen. You know, that's why butter, buttbuff, buttbuff is like, you know, they want, it's almost like they have this weird connection. So I feel like it's time for you to learn to trust, to love, and to be yourself. Fully expressed. Wouldn't that be amazing? Not having to, you know, like be something that you're not, but be what you want to be. Yeah. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me go all the way around. But yeah, no, and I feel like sometimes, you know, like I had gone through the heaviness of the inner child healing the day before yesterday, sort of like wrapping that around. It's not that I had heaps of issues, it's just that it was pulling all the stuff, you know, like all the stuff you don't like talking about, it pulled it right to the front and I had no choice but to look at it. But instead of looking at it and feeling love, I was looking at it and feeling almost absorbing into that pain. And that's why my papa shows up and was like, cut it out. Cut it out, Sonia. And just started taking them out and putting new ones in. That's literally, I could see him take it out, put a new one in. And that new one would be like a memory of him. Or it was a memory where he pulls me to the light instead of in the shadow. And changing the imagery in my head, and then the narrative became better. And so I needed the tile today. I needed nature today. I needed that loving space. I needed that nanny tree. I needed to hug a tree and feel better. And I do. That's the cool thing, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the live because I forgot I had a hike. Had to hike up the Maunga. But it was an easy hike. I don't even, you know, but it was beautiful, and we got to listen to some information. It was the bomb. So thank you. Thank you. Yes. I did feel bloody good. I felt good, you know, because it was just like, and he's like, and this is the nanny tree. This is the one I have a kōrero to. I might lie on the trunk, and she was a big one. I do have a video up, and it's me looking up a tree, and that tree's covered in light. I don't know if anyone notices the way that the light hits the camera, and the rainbow goes all the way up the tree. And it was kind of like, I was like, I needed my nanny. That's how I felt. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I needed my nanny. And so it is. So thank you. Yeah. Had a good old hug and got that healing. So thank you very much, Tyler. Hope that served you in some way, shape or form. So we've actually got Hawani coming up now. Is Hawani still here? Hawani? Just give him a moment. Oh, kia ora, kia ora. Okay, awesome. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to bring in my cards. And so look at them, they're like, yeah, those ones. So you get an extra card today. Hawani, thank you so much. If you'd like to take a deep breath, getting into a state of relaxation, I'll do the same. Just moving everything out of the way. So I'm just gonna kōrero a bit about what I see, sense and know, and allow that message to come towards me. Hawani. That's interesting. The reason why I want to say that, because I think I heard an Artie Shah song. What is that song? Won't You Be My Baby Tonight? It's like a love song, isn't it? How's that start? This one, Once We're Warriors, by the way. I don't know why my mind went there, but I just recently watched a 20-year reunion on YouTube. Sorry, this is how it's going to come in. And it was, I don't know why I'm bringing up Once We're Warriors in your energy. So that was actually a trigger to my inner child healing. Because I watched this 20-year reunion, and they showed when they premiered the movie, okay? And when they premiered the movie, the people are coming out, right? And they're like, they're traumatized. They're traumatized. And they're shaking, and they're like, oh my God. You know, like they were shocked by the movie, but also they knew that it was everybody knew that was an important movie to watch, especially for New Zealand, especially if you were Māori. And so, you know, just in part of it, and I what happened was I remembered when I watched it, because it was like watching my life, you know, and so it triggered me into this inner healing space, and then I dreamt about my grandfather, so on and so forth. And it's kind of like the way that it comes in is like, I feel like the universe is kind of triggering you because it wants you to do some kind of deep soul searching or deep soul healing, because you need it. And my whakaaro, my thought about that is the reason why the universe says, hey, you need to get your shit done, you need to do this, you need to do that, is because you've been doing this cycle for so long. You can no longer carry that mamai anymore. You can no longer hold it because it hurts you. And there's something different about you, and I feel like you've always felt that too. You've been watching Once We're Warriors quite a bit lately. Yeah, okay, thank you for pinning that, I appreciate that. Okay, was it for nostalgia? Did you watch it for nostalgia? Because I weirdly watched it for nostalgia, and I had seen it, but the outcome 20 years on was the reunion of Once We're Warriors, and they were still like, it was like they got to be a family again. And this is something, it's on YouTube, you should watch it, because it changes the aspect. So they come in, they talk about the movie, and then they talk about being a family again, because they actually really bonded on set, like they were a family, you know. And the kind of stages they had to go, like they talk a lot about the stages they had to go through to get into those kind of, you know, like the Jake the Muss beating up people, and Beth Hickey with that scene with cook your own eggs and shit like that. You know, like there was a lot behind that they had to push out that kind of emotion. And the way that it comes in for me, the why Once We're Warriors comes in for me, is kind of like, you know, like there's a lot of emotion there inside of you, because it does feel like you're different. It feels like you aren't quite the same, aren't quite like how people think you are or have said you are, because it's like there's a part of you, and I'm just looking at your energy, and it's like, there you are, you're standing in the light, you're feeling good, but it's like your leg is behind a screen. Like there's a piece of you that nobody ever gets to see, because that's a part that you keep to yourself, and whether that's because it's in shadow, you know, it's in shadow, and it's kind of like maybe you've never fully revealed yourself to the people that you love. And that could be because of intergenerational trauma. That could be because, like, Once We're Warriors is intergenerational trauma, you know. And so it's kind of like that. It just feels like you're getting tired of your foot being behind that screen. Like, it's like, I just want to move my leg out. I just want to, like it feels like you want to kickstart this new path, newfound path too. I also feel like you've been inspired recently to do spiritual things or to connect more in a spiritual way because it calls you. There's no it calls to us all, whether we're aware of that or not. It calls all the time. So that's signs, synchronicities, intuition, feelings, knowings, navigating to weird things that actually go, oh my God, that makes complete sense. Like, this is how I'm seeing it in your energy. It's like, it's like, did the universe just send me a sign? Yes, the universe always sends signs. And I think you need to just believe in yourself better, because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like there's like a sensitivity in you, and that's something that everyone knows you have, but not something that you're comfortable to showcase or to show up as. I don't know. There's something there. I can't quite name it, but it just feels like this. Everyone already knows you're like that, but there's something that you don't reveal to them openly. You're really good at putting on a smile when you're sad. You're really good at seemingly being all together when you're not. And you often try hard to be there for others and may not necessarily be there for you, or you may not show up helping you or being nice to you or showing up for you. It just feels like, you're a giver, like most of us. Everyone gets the lecture. We all give too much and we forget to give some to ourselves, but we must always give to us first. We are the priority. And the reason why we're the priority is because without us, there is nothing. We don't exist. So if you're not filling your cup, if you're not taking time to learn and connect and express your actual self, you will always feel like you're without. And that's not really going to help you in the years to come. If you don't learn to connect in and be yourself as you feel that you are, then you'll always be missing that piece. And in the years to come, we're going to need to be whole, because there's going to be challenges and changes to our society. We know this is coming, right? So this is kind of why the universe is ramping up, getting us all involved, getting us all, those that are more inclined to be spiritual to come forward and start going through that spiritual process, that spiritual healing, because there will be changes and we will need strong foundations in the work that we do now. We know this. This is a message that's being shared a lot. The work that we do now will matter in the future. Thank you. So I feel like for you, you will need to do that mahi for yourself to best benefit the generations to come in your life, which is children, their children, their children, their children, their children. It's endless. And so it's kind of like activating the light within you in order to share it, because light shared is amplified. It doesn't diminish. It becomes stronger and brighter, and you've got a light. You got a light. I feel like I'm telling you something you already know, but it just feels like I've got to tell you that, because I want you to feel more confident, to believe in what you've got, to start using your skill sets, and maybe even learn how to use them better. Educate yourself. Don't be ashamed. Like, this is something you'll learn about me. I'm spiritual on camera and I'm spiritual off. I'm exactly the same off, and I'll be myself in social situations. People go, what do you do? And I go, well, actually I read energy. And they're like, oh, read my energy. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm honest. And they're like, sure. Naively at first, but then they soon learn, and I'll be nice. I'll always be nice, because I'm kind. But sometimes the truth cannot be said. It has to be direct. Can't be said kindly. It has to be directly said. Yeah. Yeah, because it just feels like, you know, you have a gift, it is in your hearts, which is the hardest one to hold, because life teaches us that we have to look after it and protect it. But you have to learn to live with your heart wide open, to truly embrace your spiritual gifts. And I think you need to start tuning in better so that you feel more strong. Because I tell you what, the more you tap into you, the more secure you feel. The more you tap into you, the more you understand you, the more trust you feel. The more you understand and love you, the more love you feel. It's a weird space to be in, to be you, without pretense, without a mask, without hiding that leg behind that screen, by just being, this is me, this is it. I like it. I like being me. It's cool being this way, because then I don't have to pretend anymore. I don't have to always hold everybody up when I'm feeling down. And the thing about knowing yourself is that when you're down, you'll let yourself be down. You'll let yourself have that down time. Instead of when you're always trying to be something for other people, you'll always try to fix it as fast as possible, and sometimes it cannot be fixed overnight. Sometimes it might need a few days. It may need a week. It may need you to focus and heal it for longer than that. But you don't lose yourself in the healing. Sometimes you do. Like, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes you can get lost in the healing. But if you do get lost, if you actually really trust in yourself, your spiritual team will be able to connect with you and guide you better. Your loved ones, your ancestors, whoever you resonate with. They can show up for you. They can show you the signs. And you'll do it. You'll listen. Because you know that's what's good for you. You know, like for me, it's a lot of it is symbology, metaphorically. They'll show you a sign. It's not literal. So you think outside the square, what does that sign mean to me? And trust that knowing. Trust that knowing. Like when people go, oh, 11:11. Today I actually literally, someone flashed their phone at me and they go, look, it's 11:11. And I was like, 11:11 showed up for me. You know, out of the blue, didn't even look at my phone, wasn't even touching my phone at that time. I'm just listening to the corridor, and 11:11 showed up for me because someone's like, oh, turn their phone on, and there's that time. It's 11:11. And I was like, choice, I'm in the right place at the right time. You know, I take those numbers as being in alignment. Angel numbers, okay, good. The same number keeps showing up, okay, good. Because I'm on the right path, I'm moving forward. I'm in the right time, you know. And so I just think with you, there just has to be a whole nother level of trust, my friend. So let's pull the cards before I start talking for 500 years. And we'll all go to sleep. So I'm going to use my actual deck that I made. These are my own cards. Oh, those hit hard, didn't they? Why are you playing up like that? What card needs to come forward, please? Yeah. You're going to like this. It says time to see. Yeah, time to get in tune with yourself. Like I said, you do have a gift. I can see, I can sense it. But it's not, like for me, it doesn't have form yet because you have to give it form. You know, you have to give the energy a job. And once it does a job, it's so much easier to pick up and understand. And so one of my skill sets is that I can see, sense and know people's gifts. And I can feel it there sitting in you. And so it's time for you to see means there's a sense that is ready to awaken. So sometimes it's an inner vision. It could be about visualization. It could be about seeing, sensing and knowing energy. It's not always a physical thing where, you know, you can see the energy move. It's a visualization in your mind. You trust the images. Okay? And also, I want to say this, you're not crazy when you do see things like that. You're not crazy. It's actually becoming very normal. So time to see actually talks about, you know, getting really tuned in, taking that time to relax your body down and asking the universe to bring you the message. Instead of going out and seeking it, Allow it to come in. You're changing the energy from going out and grabbing to coming in and enhancing, coming in and enhancing. So this is when we start giving our energy proper jobs and it moves accordingly. Okay, so you become a magnet for information, you become a magnet for intuition, thank you. You become a magnet for abundance, you become a magnet for the right people, the right support. Your energy is bringing in the information to you. You go from seeking to finding. And when you're finding, you're empowered. And that's the thing, we have to just have patience for and allow it to come in. Because at first, of course, like anything, any new skill that you learn is that there's like the bumpy road, like the bunny hopping. Oh, can't quite learn how to drive. Well, if you know how to drive manual, when you first learn, it's a bit tough. But as you get on, like now, I can drive literally eating a pie. Eating me a good hearty pie, you know, drinking my drink and, you know, talking and texting. I can do it without thinking because it becomes natural to do so, almost automatic. And so it's sort of like practice makes perfect with spiritual spaces. And the more you learn to turn the energy towards you instead of from you, like what I mean from when we're asking for messages, we're bringing it in, okay? Not so much about always pushing the energy out so that you have no energy left. But sometimes you do have to emit a frequency. But when we're looking at information, we're allowing the information to come in. And that's how you give it a job. And it will work and it'll move like that. And so that's kind of how I sort of visualize it. And this takes time, this takes practice and dedication, but the change is coming. Like, I always say this to people because it is true. It is already in motion. It has already started. You may already be doing spiritual practices that allow this to happen. So I have great faith that you're going to do something good for yourself that allows you to activate what's sitting there asking to be activated. So that's the time to see. Let's pull the Wild Animal Unknown cards. Wild Unknown Animal, Oracle Spirit. Oracle? Sorry. The Wild Unknown Animal Spirit. Oracle. Yeah. Yeah, you got the swan. So I love this because it can talk about finding a soulmate or a beautiful connection. This is often my twin flame card, so I don't really like to use that terminology anymore because it is outdated, but it is about a connection to a soul that sees you. So you may have someone in your life or people in your life that see you as you are, and it's time for you to also see that too, that clarity in that water. You see that? It's like glass. It is so still and so reflective that you can't tell which one is the real swan and which one is the reflection. And so it does for me say that it's time for you to become whole with yourself, not part of yourself, not half of yourself, not 3/4 of yourself, but 100%. And that's going to be challenging because I think you got really good at hiding parts of yourself. And so with the swan, it actually talks about transparency. It's a beautiful card to have actually, and I really like that that came out for you because this is like kind-hearted, you know, pure heart, pure spaces for people, genuine intentions. Everybody knows you're a good guy. Like that's the kind of vibe this card gives off. And it's like the way that I want to describe it is that, you know, the more you become yourself and love yourself, the more you get to grow and be who you really want to be. You know, because that's the theme of your whole reading, is that I think you're getting tired pretending to be something else. And when I say that, pretending, I just feel like there's more parts of you that would like to be discovered and expressed, because that's going to take you to your highest bliss. That's going to elevate you in a way and motivate you in a way that allows you to feel more just like, I can do this. Oh my gosh, I can do this. You know, when maybe often you'd be like, I'm not too sure if I can do this. You know, I don't know. Like, I can see heaps of bad things happening, you know, like that kind of thinking. But when you're in alignment with yourself, it's just like, I can do this. There's no doubt, there's no fear, there's no worry in that initial thought. So it just feels like it's time to get real clear about who you are and what you want, and allow that to come in and be seen. First with you, because a lot of it really is that you have to realize your own potential. I can tell you, you've got this gift, you've got that gift, but until you realize that gift within you, you will never understand its value. And that's the truth. So I'm just going to pull one more card here for the Fairy Oracle. Oh, they're just jumping out. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm just doing that because just like that's like my symbol for getting my head right so I can say this properly. So first of all, we have the Gloominous Doom. Oh shit, that's me. The Gloominous Doom. See him? He's a bit of a sad fella. He's always wallowing. It's kind of like his thing, you know, like so I feel like sometimes, you know, this is something that feels like it's not really you, it's become a habit. Okay, sometimes you get down on yourself and it takes you all the way down. It's called, it's like I can't remember the word. Melancholy. This is a word that I've been actually saying quite a lot to people. They're like, that's a different word. I was like, I don't know, it just seems to be the word that I want to say. Melancholy. It's like you have upsides where you're really bright and you're like, yes, and this is cool, this is going to be awesome, like the energy for days, and then bottom out, hit rock bottom. Oh, it's not going to work out, you know, and it's because you can't hold on to that positive feeling for too long. But that's because it's a habit to reach for the negative. It's a habit. So you need to get out of the habit of reaching for the negative, because it's kind of like, I'm feeling so good, I need to make myself, you know, it's like, so you know how what do people say? Yeah, that's right. So sorry, it's like you have lowered your expectation, so you're not disappointed all the time. And that can also reflect as within yourself, you know. So we have to understand with Gloominous Doom is that he it's a choice. It's a choice. He doesn't necessarily have to be sad, he just chooses to. And also, you know, it just feels like the reason why this could be a melancholy energy could be in your vibe is because you have hard memories too. You have things from the past that hurt you too, and you're still holding on to them. And it gets really, really difficult to let them go, because that's the narrative, right? That's the narrative. That's the narrative. That's the narrative that we tell ourselves. And we need to change that. We need to recognize who we are. You know, and that's what I was saying, you know, if you don't learn to express who you are outside of your own inner self, and I just mean like whatever it is that you feel that you have that you don't want anyone else to see, you know, is that going to bring you shame, or is that going to make you feel weird or uncomfortable? Who fucking cares? And I say it like that. Get uncomfortable. And you get real uncomfortable with it and get used to it, because if you don't, you will never grow. You will never get to grow into this beautiful space that you could. Like when the swan shows up, do you really want to deny yourself that kind of vibration? Really? I just feel like Like I feel passionate when I want to swear. It's because I feel passionate, because I know that you have the ability to fucking shine. Straight up, Wani, you have that ability. It's like we all miss out if you never discover that. All of us, the world. Because as each of us turns on a light shared is a light amplified. And we need light. We need information. We need knowledge. We need talented people to step forward and shine like the diamond they are. And you are one. And the other card that you got is the Singer of Connection. It came out in reverse. So there's the challenge, right? Disconnection. And the cool thing about this is kind of like when you actually, if we just look at the card itself, the Singer of Connection, these are angel cards. Okay, basically they're called like refractal light, but basically angel cards. And this is the angel or the Singer of Connection. And so when it shows up, the challenge is that there may be disconnection or a lack of connection. Okay, and we've already kind of established that. But what it is, when it's in its purest state, just as it is, it's drawing in. Look at it, all of the energies are coming in. And that's what I was talking to you before. Instead of pushing it out, bring it in. Give the energy a job. And it's as simple as getting into a relaxed state and then setting intentions. I really need to know my message. I need this message to come to me. You set the intentions and then you allow it to come in. You just have to be patient, because the downside is that it's going to hit when you don't want it to hit. It's going to come in when you feel your strongest, and it's going to knock you. But the upside to it is not the downside. The upside to it is that you'll get probably an epiphany. And the downside to it is that you'll have to heal through that epiphany. And the epiphany is a vision, right? It's a vision. And so with the Singer of Connection, it's drawing all things to your heart. To your heart. That's what it does. Why? Because you're a heart-centered person. And I can feel it. That's why you get sad sometimes, because you feel everything. And it's like anything overstimulated, it hurts, right? That's why you need better spiritual practices to protect your heart, or at least until you learn to trust it, and then you'll just let it activate when it needs to. And then you'll learn to activate it all the time, and then you'll find your highest bliss all the time. You'll never have to be so stressed. And when you are stressed, when you have to go through that healing, you'll allow it, because you know how it feels on the other side of the healing. So let's pull one more card for you, my friend. I'm sorry if this is not making sense, because I don't always stop to read the comments, because I like to not know, to be honest. I like not knowing. You got the Oracle of Chaldea. I like this card. Okay, she's a good card to get. The Oracle of Chaldea. So let's read it first. Number 37, breaking down to a 10. New beginnings and endings. Where are we? Okay. Okay, here we go. This is the message of the Oracle of Chaldea, and then I'll just intuitively speak after. So it says, continue on your healing journey. Sorry, I just saw lights in the corner of my eye. It says, continue on your healing journey with enthusiasm, but without forcing things to happen more quickly than feels natural. Sometimes the body will be ready to let go while the mind is still holding on. At other times, the mind may need to be patient as the body processes an experience. Trust in your own timing and rhythm. There's no need to be impatient or to judge yourself. You are summoning the spiritual fortitude to tackle an issue which has previously held you back. When the time is right, the healing shall happen more easily than if you try to push forward prematurely. Things are going to work out. Be positive. So there are times when being present in the body and feeling our truth is challenging. We may be unsure how to hold space for our own emotional and psychological fears and states. Humans are complex creatures, and the authentic healing journey requires us to have patience with ourselves. That's easier said than done, because we all know patience is not necessarily the easiest lesson to learn in life. We need to know when it is safe to delve into a matter with full faith that even if things feel out of control, we are connected to a powerful, supportive spiritual network and our own wisdom, and that's enough to handle whatever arises, even if we tremble somewhat during the process. So I really like the Oracle of Chaldea because it does ask you to be patient and kind through healing or a healing journey. And it's like for me, the Oracle, once again, it just cracks me up why it said Oracle. So, because over here, this is what she is. She's a seer, right? Time to see. She's tuning in, she's tapping in. The Oracle, same space here. So, you're a visionary. That's why you have the heart you have. And that's why you have to go through a lot of the heavy healing and the heavy lifting right now. Because you have to have an open heart to truly see what your third eye brings forward, or the information that you receive, without fear, without shame, without pain. And so here with the Oracle of Chaldea, it is asking you to be kinder to yourself, to have patience. And that sucks, because we often want to just heal like that, but the lesson is in the healing. The lesson is in the hardship of the healing, not the reward. The reward is the bonus, the feeling of, oh, finally, I'll never have to deal with that, at least for another 6 months. But why they want to get you to the state of seeing and knowing is because of that crystal clear water in these cards. To be heart-led or orientated, you have to have a clear emotional space to see the truth. Because a lot of people get the vision, they get the visions, right? I see this, I see that. And the first place they go to is fear, pain, suffering. I see the world ending, I see this ending. Yeah, the world will end because a new world will begin, but it doesn't have to mean death and disaster. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like recognizing you doing the work on yourself now in order to see a beautiful future for your whānau, for your children, for your loved ones, moving forward. And it's kind of like, I just think you're getting tired of being sad more than being happy, or pretending to be happy when you're sad. I think that eats at you sometimes and makes life more difficult. To put a smile on when you don't feel like smiling is tough, but we do it anyway because that's life. Because we don't always want to weigh our family down. But for me, my suggestion to you is to sit with your energy and start getting real connected to it, so you feel safe with it. And draw in the teachers, the teaching, the knowing, the knowings, the energy and wisdom of love, of truth, of honesty and compassion. And allow that information to come to you, to help you heal, activate, and fulfill your soul's purpose. Otherwise, you could stay there for a while, see how you are in 6 months' time, or you could do it now and allow yourself to gracefully walk through healing where you never have to do that again. Just imagine that. Instead of going through these cycles, And like I said, I believe in you. I believe you can do this. Well, I'm going to be honest. The reason why it feels like together or apart is because inside of you, you're not whole. And that's what I mean by that. Because this always happens on a spiritual journey, you know. We start sort of healing ourselves, and then we feel like our partners or people in our lives, that they don't get us, that it shouldn't feel like this. They're not spiritual sometimes. They're not sensitive. But sometimes people like us need a po. We need a strong pillar. Someone that'll ground us to the earth. Because we often go all the way up. And I used to think that too. And so I had that same, should I stay, should I go, or together or apart? I never advocate for families to break up, ever. Because to be honest, with that Sing of Connection coming out in reverse, and that dominus gloom showing up, it feels like that's a habit. You isolate and separate yourself from those that you love, because that's how you've learned how to heal. But families heal faster together. Straight up. In the separation, the feeling to separate, often we get that because we're not happy. But what are we doing to make it happy? You know, because sometimes it starts with us. And this is something that I learned for myself within my own spaces, is that I had to learn to love myself first before anyone knew how to love me back. How can I ask someone to love me if I don't even love myself? How will they even know how to do that if I don't even know what it is for me? That's why I always teach that, because that's how that truth came to me. Is that when I started to love myself, I started to appreciate the relationships in my life. I started accepting people for who they were. And I started realizing that everybody that loved me was still there. They were still there. Even though I pushed them away, even though I almost run away, even though I separate myself and isolate myself in my cave, when I looked up there, they were still here. People that are still with you, even going through all the cycles of healing that you've probably gone through, they're still there. There's usually a reason. Yeah. There's usually a reason. And I didn't, I feel sorry for my partner, because I did everything I could to push them away. Everything. Bad things too. Because I was unhealed here. I was miserable in here. And so every time I didn't get that need met, you're letting me down, you don't love me, we can't be together, I'd run away. It's a cycle. It becomes a habit. And I recognize that because I had cycles of melancholy. That's what I was talking about. I'll say melancholy a lot because I recognize that pattern too. And so that's why I said it was a habit. And you got to break that habit, because that habit's not serving you. It's not helping you at all. In fact, it's probably severing connections that you do have with people that actually do love you. But you have to accept you as you are, and also accept them as they are. If it's toxic though, whatever. But if there's someone worth saving, a relationship worth saving, a family worth saving, then do your best to save it. Because you're aware. You're aware of this. And I just think, this is not the time. This is not the time. Because you're going to need a po, you're going to need someone to lean on. especially when this starts really hitting. Like when this whatever this is here that wants to come in, when that starts hitting, you're going to need someone to lean on. Because this is the thing about people that have these gifts and abilities, they usually work in teams. Not just the spiritual team, but your life team. They don't do it on their own because they can't. Because sometimes you get some kind of visions and it knocks you because it's a lot. And you need someone to be there because it's definitely a lonely path without. So I just give that to you, food for thought, my friend. Whatever you do. I never judge. It's purely just a suggestion. And I just think, yeah, it's time to get this right first, and you may find that everyone that's still with you actually is with you because they still love you. That's the truth. So I hope that message serves you in some way, shape or form. It gave you some clarity. I do wish the best for your journey forward. It's not always easy. Life isn't. It's designed to challenge you. But I feel like with the right footing and the right knowing or teachings that come to you, you'll find your way. You'll find your way. Yeah. Try to be a little bit more light-hearted about those deep thoughts, though. Don't let them go down. So yeah. Lots of love to you, my friend. Take care. Oh, hang on. I'm just checking my notifications there. Oh, someone's messaged me. Amy? Okay, thank you. Lucky. Thank you so much, Amy. Alright, thank you, Hawani. Let me just clear up my desk and have a drink of water. Woo. Alright. Love and light to you, my friend. Take care. Okay, kia ora. Alright, Amy. So, is this the first time you're getting a reading from me? Hi, Em. Oh, thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Yeah, I decided to come back and sort of start getting back into the swing of things. And I've been just doing a bit of work on myself because I think Spirit wanted to clear some spaces to make space for something new. And I love to read. It's always been something I've been good at, so whether it's intuitively or cards. But thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Okay, awesome, FYP, awesome. Okay, Amy, if you'd like to take a deep breath and just get yourself into a state of relaxation, because I need to as well, and I'll do the same. I'm just going to intuitively tap in and speak, and then allow the cards to do some talking after I've done a bit of connecting in with you. Yeah, so the words trust comes in a lot. So Amy, you might necessarily not trust people or trust yourself to make decisions, or trust people that based on past experiences. They're asking you not to judge a book by its cover. But also the best stories are the contents within. So, you have to get to know a page and read a page. And they're literally talking about books to me. So, are you a reader? Do you read books? But it's kind of like they want you to get to know the book before just chucking it away and thinking it's not valuable. because some pages have like hidden messages and things. It's weird because it's not like a journal or a diary, but it's like a story. They want you to know someone's story first before you, like, there's a rhyme and a reason for why they do what they do. And so I just say that to you, that may be either in the romantic terms, or that could be family, friends, or just new people in your life. So let's just pull that in, because I don't know why I'm going out. I like to come from within and then move out. So that's just there. That's turning in your energy. They just showed me an oyster. So, how do I say that with it? So, we all know with oysters have pearls, right? And there's a lot about you that you keep hidden. That's how it feels. So, it's kind of like your emotional space you cut off. What does that mean? They kind of like, sorry, I know that I lean forward, but it's like, it's all here, but, you know, I can't describe it. Visual spaces. The way that they're showing me is like, you know that there's a way to get the pearl out without hurting the oyster. And they were like, you know, it's like there's a certain way that you can get the pearl out without actually having the oyster. It's all metaphorical, so I gotta shape the words to shape the image. For some odd reason, it feels like you often have to keep your heart closed or restricted, or have it on restraint, because there's a part of you that gives so much of yourself. You know, you've given your heart before and been hurt. You've shared yourself in certain ways and been hurt in that experience, not necessarily always romantic. Could be people that you trust, friends, family, career. And it's kind of like, yeah, okay, pulling it all back, because I wanted to see your heart and they showed me an oyster. The part of you that is the strongest would probably be your heart, because you're empathic, right? You feel things. You might see someone and then you'll feel their emotions. And this has probably happened all your life. Most empaths have that. And I think that overwhelms you sometimes, because it's like, I'm sick of feeling all of this. Like, you know, why? You know, there's the whole universe, why? And that kind of, the way that it comes in is that because if you can't trust your own heart, you will find it hard to trust other people's hearts, and you'll find it hard to navigate clearly with that kind of feeling. So that the heart itself has to be open. You might have heard it in the last one. Has to be ready to receive real love, you know, or energy or information. And so it just feels like you want to get the pearl, but you don't want to open the oyster, you know, and there is a way to do it, but there's a part of the heart that's always open. So it just feels like, you know, it's like, I'm so sorry, I can only share what I'm seeing, and it's like you're, you know, and part of me feels like that's a little bit unnatural. So it just feels like okay, thank you, finally. It feels like there has to be some kind of emotional growth or maturity. Okay, so, okay, you understand? Okay, cool. It just feels like you have to let that oyster be an oyster. You know, like you just have to understand that your space, your heart space, or just your energy, the reason why it's closed is because the pearl has to grow. And if you keep trying to meddle with it, it might hurt the oyster. the heart space. It's kind of like, you know, you're doing the hokey pokey. This is something that I say. You put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, you put your left foot in, and then you shake it all about. The hokey pokey with yourself, with your heart. So it's like you want to open it, then you close it. I like you, don't like you. Like you, don't like you. Want to be with you, don't want to be with you. You know, there's a fear there. And so you do need to have a little bit more emotional maturity, because that's actually how the oyster is. It's that pearl of wisdom, right? Was it the apple of knowledge, pearl of wisdom. So it just feels like there has to be some kind of development there. Because if you keep playing hokey pokey with yourself, you just end up being hurt, you know? Like there has to be a choice that you commit to somebody or to something, and allow that to trust that process, and allow it to take you to the wisdom of feeling safe and secure. Like yours is a little bit more complicated, because it's not just such a straight line. Like this is how they're describing, like there's other things going on. So I'm trying to navigate through the main storyline that's going to take you to your highest good. And they're talking about your heart. They're talking about your heart needing to mature more. So that the reason why I say mature more is kind of like, if you really want to have a relationship where you're soul deep, you have to have the capacity to handle soul deep. And this is why they're saying don't judge a book by its cover, because some people are soul deep. And it's like you need to read in and understand and gain the wisdom of their story to understand why you may feel disconnected or dismiss things so easily. You know, learn something about that person first. Trust. That's why the oyster, that's why the closed so tightly. Trust, a lack of trust. And that's really hurt you in the past, and so that's why they're asking for your heart to just, so it's like grow a little and create that capacity. I'm not talking about your age or immaturity. I'm talking about the maturity of your heart, so the ability to gain more capacity. So the bigger your heart energy can hold, the bigger your heart energy can grow to create capacity, the easier it is to put things inside of it. Like, you know, like a cup, like love, like abundance, like bliss, like joy, like happiness. You know, these are all the energies that get attracted to the center. And or narcissist, because unfortunately, if you are an empath, you do attract those kind of people. That's the truth. You've got to reverse that. You've got to be an empath, and you have to have boundaries. You have to learn to give, and then when it becomes too much, say no and stay grounded in that knowing. No means no. For many people, you know, I don't mean to say it that way, but it just means when I say this, you do have to stand by that and reinforce that boundary. And that can be tough with people that don't necessarily have any, because there are people that don't, and usually they're narcissists. So, you know, I can understand why your heart might have recoiled and become small again, but that's not what it's designed to do, is it? And so you will have to learn to master that center, because if you're an empath and you are attracting negativity to you, you'll keep going through that cycle until you learn to control the heart. The reason why is that when the heart is fully activated, you navigate to the right people. They almost come to you. You don't even have to try. They just show up. Oh, there you are. I've been waiting for you all my life. There you are. And that's because you start to magnetize towards the feelings of love, joy, happiness, and bliss, and the people that resonate with that. You know? You can look at all the relationships you've ever had and wonder if they're the same type. Different books, same story. And the downside is that You may see someone with the same book cover, but their story might be different. But you'll never understand it if you keep your heart closed. And so we do that as a defense mechanism. It is a defense mechanism. So we need to move out of the fear of loving and opening your heart, the fear of feeling, because you got to feel things to heal things. Otherwise, you're not going through that process. You know, it's like the feeling allows for the memory or the thought to be released. And that's the truth. So by closing it up and not trusting people, you won't allow yourself the healing that you need to feel good about being who you are, and also to attract towards you the people that serve you best. You know, not being of service to you, but being of service with you. It's the best way to describe that. I thought it was me. Yeah, new friend circle. It just feels like, there's a lot of work that needs to be done by you. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just needing a little bit of focus and commitment. And, you know, you focus and commit on yourself. Be committed to yourself. You may often find people that are focused and committed to themselves and to the things that are important in their life. So it just feels like you need to strengthen those boundaries, but also just know who you are. Because one thing a narcissist cannot break is someone who knows who they are. You won't attract them, because what they go for are people that are vulnerable and emotionally weakened. Have you even noticed that? Narcissists won't go for the confident, strong one. They'll go for the one that's not. Because in the end, it's about control. And so when you are in control and self-control of yourself, you're not going to attract them, because you're going to resonate with loving spaces, which they don't exist in. They can appear loving, but that's not necessarily the case. Okay? And so I just think in the intuitive part of it, you really need time to work on yourself before engaging in maybe romantic partnerships, because I feel like you want a soulmate, so you have to become a good soulmate. And this is the thing. However, whatever depth you can meet yourself will be the depth that you meet others. You know? And you'll recognize the people that don't have the capacity to receive you, because they won't get it. But the ones that are at that capacity, as you strengthen and trust and love and enjoy your actual life, and you strengthen that connection with who you are, your capacity grows, your level of knowing deepens, and you connect with people at that level. Now, because a lot of people, they think it's going up, but actually it's going in. You got to go in to go up. And that's weird, but that's literally how it shows. You got to go inside yourself, because you are the bridge to go up to higher frequencies of, you know, connecting with high vibrational people. But also high vibrational people also have low vibrational days too. They're not always high vibrational all the time. But when they get low, they know what to do to bring themselves back up. And those are the people that you want around. The ones that bounce back faster and faster. Let's pull some cards. Let's see what the universe has for you. Got the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle. Animal Spirit Oracle. So the animal cards, they're just to let me know where someone's energy's at. Like their basic instincts. And they give me a little bit of a hint at where you're at energetically. So let's see what the cards have for you. Oh, straight away. Woo! You got the B card. I really like the B card for you, because this does talk a lot about high vibrational energy, and the more high vibing you are, and I hate saying that because I feel like it's a cool phrase, but it gets tortured on here. Like, it's just, you know, and so it's just like you're just resonating at such a good space when you're in your space. And it's kind of like, the cool thing about the bee, it's a hive mind, as we know, so it's a collective thinker. So you probably work better in groups, you know, with people that are like-minded, like-hearted, like-souled. And it's kind of like you are best at doing. You know, that's probably why feelings are like the last thing on your list. You know, and it's not because you don't feel. Obviously, it's because you always feel. And you might, okay. So what they're telling me is that often your priorities are always a little bit, I want to say wonky, or like, you know, there are better things to prioritize. So for me, this is like, for someone that may be busy all the time. I don't know if you're busy all the time. Yeah, guys, I'm going to close down the donation things, because this will be my last one, unless someone else has. If you have, please let me know, but I am going to close that down now, just because the time's getting on. But here it just feels like you focus a lot on doing, and you really need to get more into the feeling, the sitting with yourself. I think you might avoid that, and that's good. But the downside to the bee is that it works so hard it ends up sitting on a flower and then it dies. You know, you can't work yourself into the ground. You can't party hard until you have nothing left. There has to be a point where you sit with yourself and you actually connect in and let that growth happen. So for me, the busy bee is actually a good card, but it can be very hard if you're trying to maintain that bee being busy all the time. Well, it's just bee, but I'm getting busy bee. You know, you're buzzing here, you're buzzing there, you're buzzing everywhere. And in a way to sort of like keep in motion, but sometimes doing less is more too. Like, there's appropriate days to rest, and this is something as a community that we really need to incorporate, is that we have to take conscious times to rest. Like, okay, Saturday morning, I'm not going to do anything till lunchtime. I'm just going to relax. You know, usually on a Saturday morning, you might get up early, go to the gym, go for a walk, go meet with friends, go to lunch, go here, go there, go shopping. And that's cool, but sometimes you need to relax and just take in space with you. And then when you're ready, go and do those things, because you've filled your cup, right? And it just feels like you go so hard, you go hard, you know, like that's how we say here in New Zealand. I don't know if you're a Kiwi or anything, but you pursue and focus on what it is that you want to do, and then the universe puts you on your ass. They're just like boom, you know, and then you can either consciously choose to rest, or the universe will knock you out in a loving way. Do you know what I mean by that? Kia ora. It's sort of just like, yeah, it's time for you to take a moment for yourself. Because like when I'm literally sitting here and I've got the deck up, I've pulled the card for you, it flipped out, but this keeps showing up to me. And turtles are significant to me because I used to say I was a turtle, because I needed to learn how to slow things down. I needed to get into the right cycles that were in flow with me, so that I could move more freely and have less, you know, like burden from doing all the time. Because the thing about me is, you'll learn really fast that when I have had enough, I will just be gone. And I'll go on hiatus, because I don't want to hit burnout. I don't want to lose passion. I don't want to lose my skill sets or burn them out and then have nothing left, you know. So when I know it's time to draw back and take that time for myself, I will. Some people don't. They'll just keep going and going and going, because this is how they make their living. This is, you know, their side hustle. This is their passion. For me, this is my passion, but I won't destroy it. I'll always stay pure to the craft, because It served me well and has. And so I have that respect for myself as the reader to take that moment to rejuvenate my energies, to learn new things and receive new messages, because I get tired of saying the same thing over and over again. And it's not because each person is undeserving of that message, it's just I wait for the next timeline to jump so that the message is different. So it just feels like for you, you kind of just got to give yourself some time so you actually know where you're at with things, because it just feels like you're here and you're there and you're everywhere but where you need to be, which is here. So that turtle means to go with the flow, to be a little bit more gentle with your life, and to just steadily, slow and steadily win that race. Because the way that they're going is it's all about the journey, not the destination, right? That's what we get told all the time. It's not about the journey. It's not about the destination. It's the journey. It's the steps that you take. It's the life that you make, So if you're creating a life where you can actually be happy, then you do have to have ebbs and flows. When it's in flow, go. When it's ebbing back, rest. A lot of people follow the moon as a guidance. New moon for Māori is 3 days of sacredness. We take that time. We become holy, or not holy like God, but like divine within ourselves. And I take spiritual maintenance. I'll stop reading for 3 days. And that's because I care for myself and put myself first. And I just think you need to do that more than worrying about romantic endeavors with other people or friends and things like that, because the most important person in your life should be you. You should be your highest priority. And we forget. We often forget. So let's pull some cards from the Fairy Oracle as well. Ooh, yeah. Sorry. Sorry, your cards are so truthful. Oh, I totally get that. So you got 3 cards fall out. Your cards are so truthful. I think you're actually quite an honest and open person. So I love that this message comes forward for you, even though it's a little bit roundabout, but we'll get there. But you got Heartistry the Wild. He's like the vroom. This is what I call the vroom. When you're revving up the engine and you're about to take off really fast from the lights, that's him. He's like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And he's like, faster, faster, faster. And it kind of makes sense with, look, the bee energy. Your heart, your heart. This is why you close up. Because you're like, boom, you give all your love straight away. Hey, that's why they ask you to read the book. Read the book, know the story first. That way, you can tell which book you need to read. You know what I mean? That's literally what I heard in my head. So it's funny because Heartistry the Wild is like that. He's like, he loves to love. It's like really like, yes, it gets me going. And I love it. And the downside is trauma. Trauma creates the oyster that won't open. And so I know in the past you probably waited for people that you felt romantically connected to, or maybe a soulmate, or someone you feel deeply connected to, and maybe this person gives you mixed signals. I don't think they do. I think they just, to be honest, I think you keep meeting people that just aren't ready to fall in love the way that you do. What's your love language? Acts of service, gifting, or do you have all of them? Affection, like your intense. That's how it feels. And unfortunately, it does feel like you attract people that they like the intensity, and then it becomes too much for them because they're not ready to move. Like I said, you need to create more capacity here so that you can meet people that have that capacity, because it feels like, because your heart is not really slowing down it's always racing. You can often find yourself with people that are also have that lack of connection with themselves, so just be mindful. Because with the loam, you got the loam in reverse, and she's like a waiting card. Sorry I can't bring it all the way in. She's like a waiting card. Waits too long, she waits forever. That's how it feels. I'm like waiting forever for the piper to come in, you know, that loving call, that call, that person that you feel romantically connected to. Like it's like a moth to a flame, burnt by the fire. My love is blind, can't you see my desire? That's the way love goes. Da, 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 da. You know, like it's a, you know, chemistry. Let's put it like that. The piper brings chemistry. And the thing is, you don't want to wait anymore. Like, I don't want to wait for I don't want to wait. I don't want to be stuck waiting for people, you know, to love me, or for them to see me, or for them to notice me, you know, like there's frustration there. So I do want to say, just be mindful of any intergenerational behavior that we pick up from people or relationships that we had in our lives. Are we repeating that pattern? Are we going through that pattern? So we just have to take that time to reflect, eh? So I think with the loam here and the piper, you have been waiting on someone, and that might be making you a little crazy. But hey, got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now, you know. Or maybe in the past that's how you felt like you were. But deep down in your soul, you know you're a deep soul. You know you want that soul love, that soul connection. And the thing about the loam is like this unconditional love. So when you love someone, you love them. Full stop. That's it. And you'll go about loving them. The downside with the piper is that he's always called elsewhere to do things, and it's just the nature of it, you know. It's the balance. While you sort of sit there waiting, they move forward or backwards, probably a bit of both, and that hurts, and that's hard. Because if you have a look at the loam, you know, like her wings are tattered and worn. She's been through a lot. She's seen some better days, you know. It's like that feeling like I'm running out of time. You know, a sense of lack or lacking. But she hasn't given up on love, which is good. Don't never let anyone take that from you. Don't let anyone take love from you. You know, this is one thing that I will always say about me, no matter what. I always believed in love, that I could love again, that love would find me. And it did. It did. And it was right in front of me, didn't even notice. Tried to ruin it because I was unhealed. You know? And so it's kind of like recognizing that when the right person comes along, you won't have to wait. And this is something we have to learn what love really is that when someone loves you, you know it. You feel it. There's no hesitation or waver. You feel solid in it. And sometimes we got to go through all these pipers to find someone better, you know. And I say that jokingly, but I mean, like, sometimes we do have to go through trial and error. We have to learn, you know. Each person that's ever hurt you in a relationship, and I don't mean physical hurt, but like broken up with them and it hurt kind of thing, each of them have probably been telling you the same thing, the same message. And so it's time for you to break free of that cycle, right? And stop repeating it. Find something better within you in order to find something better within another The relationships that you have are a reflection of you. And sometimes you might think, oh no, that's horrible. But it just means that there's a part of you that you need to tend to, which is the part that likes those broken ass people or person. You know, what part would connect with them and fix that, okay? So I don't want to linger there because I don't want you to get sad about that, because the cool thing about the Wathis is that he'll find a way through it all. Like, he'll get there, and you've got that energy of doing. So you just got to turn that energy into a positive light and not a negative. Don't run away from things that are uncomfortable. Confront them, face them, fix them, heal them, create something better. Change the cycle, okay? So let's pull a card, because we don't realize that we move into patterns, the same pattern, just like energy does. Like, if you think about an electrical circuit, it'll just keep going around that same circuit over and over and over again. And once we create a habit, we do the same thing. But if we introduce a new component, then the energy will move differently, okay? Yeah, sorry whānau, this is the last one for the night, because it's 9:46 and I'm getting tired. I climbed a mountain today. I feel really good though. Hi Tamara! How you doing? I have a pattern. That's right. See, but now you know. Now you know. Now you can fix it. Now you know where it goes, where it's going wrong. I always talk about the glitch. We've got to find the glitch, and then it helps us. Like, it helps us actually learn where our pattern distorts and where we go wrong. And the downside is that we usually hit the glitch and then we start the program again, right? So our energy is never really filling the pattern properly, the pattern that serves our highest good. It's hitting a certain point, it's going backwards and forwards. So once we fix this, it can then carry on. So we have to think about it like that, if that makes sense for you. So we actually pulled the Yogini of 285 Hertz. Number 14. 14 breaks down to a 5. 5 is about choice or change. So let's read this one. No, let's start this one. Oh, she's running away from me. Alright, Yogini of 285 Hertz. Change in your life. Changes in your life, including closing doors or missed opportunities, are not going to derail your fulfillment. Realignments are happening based on divine wisdom and timing. You are being diverted from unnecessary obstacles and suffering. Trust in how your life path is unfolding. Stay true to your authentic healing journey, because it is working, whether you realize that or not. Significant inner healing is taking place. Which I love that. So if you found me, it's already in motion. You just need confirmation on this. And I think you just needed to be aware of that pattern so that you can break it and create a new one. Create better habits. Habits that actually serve you, right? Habits of doing that actually serve your highest good, instead of always feeling like, well, sad. Sorry, at times. So, in numerous spiritual traditions of the East, such as those from Nepal, Tibet and India, the Yogini is a female spiritual adept, a practitioner of deep yoga that awakens a powerful connection with one's real inner being. The Yogini holds space for healing and enlightenment, moving through obstacles and challenges with wisdom, patience, commitment, and often great joy. She is our spiritual sister, our sacred friend, and our guide away from the bleak, erogenous thinking of the ego into the softened, awakened, relaxed, gracious way of spirit. When the Yogini of 285 Hertz makes her presence felt in a reading, it is a sign that we are on a powerful healing journey to connect body, mind and soul with the truth of our spiritual nature. We are working at an inner level to let go of past pains and open up to our empowerment and grace, dignity and legitimacy in the present moment. This oracle indicates there is a spiritual approach to heal any and all struggles in our lives. So, yeah, the tone of 285 Hertz supports the treatment of wounds, cuts, burns, and any other damaged tissue. Just saying. It is the tone of optimal health. So it may be good to listen to a meditation that's 285 Hertz, because we're talking about electricity and currents. So maybe that will actually help heal any wounds. And even though it's a physical wound, I also feel like the wounding sometimes is on the inside. And that's where I felt it was like in the heart. Because I think you need to learn to trust again. But first learn to trust yourself. Because once you got that, then it's easier to learn how to trust others. And then when you can trust, you can heal, you can forgive, you can let go, and then you can love fully. Just imagine being able to love someone fully, without restraint, without looking crazy, without having to worry or wait to hopefully prove that they're loyal to us. Just imagine having someone that actually cares about you, because those kind of people, they do exist. There's plenty. You want to know, and this is something I say all the time, look at yourself. Are you not one? If you're there, then there's others. Okay? So I'm hoping this message helped you find some kind of clarity through your challenges at this time. And I send lots of love, and I send lots of light, because you may need them. You may need that light. And I also ask your spiritual team to bring in people, situations and places that serve your highest good, that help you heal and relieve the burden of a heavy heart. Okay? So, yes, don't forget to drink water. Thank you. So thank you, Amy, very much for that. I wonder where your Venus is in. Like, the Heartistry, the wild is kind of like, this is kind of like, it's either the Venus could be in Aries or in Scorpio, but I think Scorpio would be a little bit darker. The Heartistry is kind of like fire. So, you know, you might have a fire moon, which is why the Venus is kind of your like love center. And it's kind of like you can seem quite aggressive in the loving space, which is why the people that you connect with, they're not quite there. That's all. It's not that you're the wrong person, it's just that you've met the wrong person at the wrong time. You know, it's more like you're going to find people that actually love that way, and you're going to like it. You know what I mean? Love you the same way. And that's what you kind of need. So, yeah. Thank you guys. Oh, thank you. I just want to have some water too. But thank you to everybody that stayed this long. I kind of just didn't advertise that I was going live either, so I do apologize. I thought I'd be home earlier, but I ended up not being home very early, and then rushed around like crazy. But thank you for the love and support. Thank you to my lovely mods for all that you guys do for me. I appreciate your love, and everything you said makes so much sense. Oh, thank you, Amy, for saying that. I appreciate that. Thank you, and I'll be back on Thursday. So if you would like to get a reading from me then, feel free to catch me on Thursday. I'm going to need it. I am tired. I'm going to enjoy my sleep tonight, that's for sure. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to my lovely mods, and have a good rest, or wherever you are, day, night. Take care. Bye guys.